up and crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hello, nurse. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you be tuning in from. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 955 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say to everybody this morning, this afternoon, wherever you may be, welcome back to the show. I was looking at this article, Mike, before we came on today. I find this interesting because this is something that we are heading down the path for just in society, and something that would have just been imagination, if you will, to us growing up and even chilled just about 5 years ago. Little Caesars and Flytex launched a sky to drone capability of delivering up to 2 large pizzas and sides. A first for drone delivery.
What happens if I make that order and some redneck shoots my drone out of the sky because it's on my land?
And
what happens then? That's what I want to know.
It's going to happen because, again, at the end of the day, especially with youngsters, things flying around through the air. This is nothing that we've ever had before, just randomly flying about. And somebody somewhere is definitely going to shoot something down.
I'm throwing a football at it if I am in between the ages of 5 and 35.
Yeah.
I'm launching I'm like Uncle Rico. I'm throwing a football over that mountains to hit that little drone and get me some free pizza. I'm not going to lie and say I'm above it all, because I wouldn't have been in my younger days if we had this out there. Hell no. And what's going to stop someone else with the drone coming in, acting like they're Tom Cruise in Top Gun and trying to shoot my shit down?
I don't know, probably within the last 10 years, they had this robot that was walking. I don't know. It was
all through Canada.
It made it all through Canada. It got the whole way through Pennsylvania, and it gets to Philadelphia, and they decide to destroy it. So, right. Surprise.
I give Philly a lot of shit, but I tell you what.
Well, they deserve it.
Yeah, they do deserve it. But you don't know what that robot was up to. It invaded us, and they handled fucking business. They kept 10 toes down for the good old US of A. So
Yeah.
I give Philly a pass on that one. But yes, that would be the place where all those drones would die.
And if providing we're all still alive here in 10 years, it's probably going to start looking a little bit like the Jetsons did, if you think about it, because there's just going to be things flying around. And also with these robots, you got to remember Rosie, like she was the maid.
Mhm.
That seemed to be a thing in the future. So again, all these people saying, "Where are the flying cars? Where I thought things were going to be like the Jetsons." Mike, again, if we provided if we're all still alive in 10 years, I think we're going to start seeing them things here in our lifetime.
Like my parents, they said when they were in school, they had the film clips of the future, automatic production lines, flying cars, drones, robots. So now we are finally getting this, 50 years later, 70 years later, 80 years later. Um, I feel kind of cheaped out because I remember growing up in the 80s, being in school, saying we would have all of this stuff. Now it's taken 45 years to get here just in my lifetime. I feel kind of ripped off.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. People our age, I mean, we're always, stubborn at first. Ah, I don't need this. Ah, blah, blah. I got to be honest, man. If I get in one of these cars and I'm zipping around through the sky and I'm not, you know what I mean? If it's something that's doable and you get in, you're going to love it. You're going to be like, what? I got to get up to the mall that's 15 minutes away. I'll get there in 3.
Yeah. Go up, get into, as long as I don't have to get into the FAA towers, I don't have to talk to anyone, just low enough to where we don't have to worry about that shit. Let's fucking go. I'm all for, my insurance premiums are going to go up, so that's going to suck, but, I'm willing to risk it.
Guys, that's what we're up against. So again, and providing we're all alive and well here in 10 years, who knows what can happen anymore. This looks like again, Mike, because Little Caesars again, they have this technology. It's up to ordering up. They can deliver two large pizzas and sides. So again, when I was a kid, I remember sitting in my friend's living room and saying to myself, because we didn't have a car at the time or licenses, and he had said, we had to walk to the store, which is about a mile and a half. And as a kid, you don't want to walk a mile and a half in the heat. You'd rather just get a ride. And I remember saying, if there was only just a delivery service that would just deliver things to you like pizza does, and they would bring you cigarettes or they would bring you pop or they would bring you whatever. And so we were about 30 years ahead of DoorDash. If we would have just been smart.
Right?
You never know. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Glad to see everybody today. Yeah, welcome back. This is episode 955 of the Two Dum Yinzers, only 45 short shows away from the big 1,000 right here on YouTube. I can't wait. Lots of big things coming down the pike, Mike. We have some big things coming this week. We have some big things coming down the road. But let me get into a few things before we do start. Of course, we do have information on the Aaron Rodgers and some other things, Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's get into it. The Pittsburgh Penguins stay alive, Mike. They beat the Philadelphia Flyers 3-2 last night at home. They stay alive in a series to make the series 3-2 in favor of the Flyers. Mike, they'll be back at it tomorrow night at Philadelphia. They got to go back to Philly now, unfortunately. They go back there tomorrow for Game 6. That is a 7:30 start. Mike, what are these Penguins doing differently that they weren't doing early? They managed to win 2 games in a row. You win 3 in a row. This is a whole new series. It comes down to best of 1. What are they doing different, and how can they continue to stay on that route?
They're finally playing like the better team that they are. Philly came in really hot, and you know how it is in these playoffs, whether it be basketball, baseball, hockey, these multi-series games. If you come in hot and you can ride that hot streak, you can win a round. And then that's what Philly was doing. They were hot. They were playing their system. Now, these past 2 games, the Penguins, the script has flipped, man. The Penguins are the better team, and they are actually playing like the better team right now, and they're getting to their game. Crosby's playing at another level right now, and the Flyers don't have any answers, and we're getting some really good goaltending too. The scoring's coming to life. The big guys are playing to their potential now, and things are looking good. We still need some guys like Mantha and Chinnikov to start scoring the way they were in the regular season. But the momentum has slipped to the Penguins, man. If they win Game 6 in Philly, I think they go come back home and win it, because they're on the ropes right now. They're just starting to goon it up after every single game. They have no answer for the Penguins right now other than to goon it up, and the Penguins aren't letting that get to them right now.
Penguins win one more. They'll be bringing it back home to Pittsburgh. This game six will be tomorrow at 7:30 in Philly. Let's keep it going. Penguins, Pirates. Mike, they take a no-hitter into the seventh inning for the second day in 4 games and lose both of those games as the back end of the bullpen gives up 4 runs in the ninth inning last night. The Pirates dropped their first game to the Cardinals. Not only dropping the first game, this is the first game in 4 that they let up a run for the Cardinals at Pittsburgh. They were looking for 36 straight innings of shutout baseball against the Redbirds. That did not happen. Santana comes in, blows the save. St. Louis scores a couple times. Dude from around here hits a home run. Cardinals win that game 4-2. They'll be back at it today for game 2 of 4 in this series. This is a 6:40 start today. The Buccos are 16-13 coming into the series. And finally, the Pittsburgh Passion, Mike. It is time for the gals. That's right. The Pittsburgh Passion, they are back at it this Saturday. They're traveling down to Tampa Bay to play the Tampa Bay Inferno. Start off their 6-game season. They've looked really good the past couple years. 2 years ago, of course, going to the championship. Last year falling short, but Makai Chavez, she will be leading the team and trying to take the Passion back to the championship. The first game again in Tampa Bay will be Saturday at 6:00.
Let's go Passion, man. They're a fun team to watch. Yes, it's women's football, but these women are really good. Definitely, like the Passion players, they're phenomenal.
All right, so let's get to it. I see a lot of talk about, of course, Aaron. But let me jump on the board here. I do want to say what's up to everybody before we do get started. Get into this little bit of Aaron tidbit. I think people are just getting really worked up about nothing at the moment, but let's get into that here in 1 second. Let's say what's up to everybody. What's up, Tortilla, all the way from Sacramento, California. Always great seeing the man named Tortilla on the terrible board. What's up, brother? Christopher's my man. Always great seeing Christopher from South Florida. How's that weather treating you? It's finally getting nice up here, man. A little bit more consistently. And I got to be honest, I'm loving it. I hope things are going well with you guys in South Florida, Christopher's. Jamal in the house. What's up, brother? Gang. Always seeing Jamal in the house all the way from Texas. Great seeing you, sir. Hope things are going well for you. Tyrone in the house also. JPJ is the GOAT. JPJ is he's getting there. He's getting there. He will try to catch up to my man Tyrone. Tortilla says this. He says, pull, boom, fly pizza problem gone. I'm ready for the flying pizzas. I don't know. I'm ready for it. Because again, like even if it goes bad, how much gas could I have left in the tank? Let's just say this happens and the world goes insane.
That might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. There, you're waiting for that drone pizza to come. Someone shoots it down. I can see you going out there and just causing a rampage amongst society. I see it happening, brother.
I mean, they're going to start. Listen, it's going to get bad. I don't care what
they're going to start charging $50 to have an airdrop to you.
I don't know.
A hot and ready's $10.
Here's what's going to happen. It's just the beginning. It's the beginning cursor of having millions of drones flying around, and you don't know who they are, what they're doing. I don't care for that. But again, I'm not 15, so I don't have to endure a whole lifetime of any bullshit coming ahead. But you know what? If we start flying cars around, I'm in. I'll do it. I swear to you, I'll fly some cars around. Let's get back at the board right here, right where Just Learning jumps on, and he says this: Steelers place free agent tender on Rodgers. They sure do, guys. That is, I guess, the big story of the day. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Let's also say Tortilla. He says, I really thought I'd find out Colonel Sanders' secret recipe before World War III. Yeah. Let's also go to Somber. He says, yo, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Somber on a terrible board. Yo. Tyrone, he says, good job, Omar. Now A-Rod has to make up their mind. Ha, ha, ha. Somber says this: Steelers placed the UFA tender on Aaron Rodgers as a formality to protect their ability to get a compensatory pick in 2027 in the event that another team would sign him before July 22. Let's go here to Somber. He follows. I'm sorry, Christopher's my fault. Christopher says, here it goes. Sorry, Tortilla. Doesn't he still have until training camp, though? Somber says it's about next year's quarterback. They really don't care about Rodgers. Christopher says this. He goes, you guys realize no team could play man-to-man coverage on us anymore, right? They have to play zone, and Aaron Rodgers destroys zone coverage. So does Will Andrew. Somber says, upon further review, Dean Lowry has decided to take a little bit more time to work into playing shape. He did not take a physical, but he has been fully cleared from last season's injury report, says Rappaport. Tortilla says, oh no, we're going to call water milk. Fuck. Somber says it's okay. We have Rubio. Richard, always great seeing Richard Jankowski on the board. What up, Richard? Nice seeing you. Good morning to you, sir. Christopher says Jeremy Bernard is better than Deontay and is similar to Antonio Brown. Listen, I don't know because I haven't seen him play in the pros, but I hope you're right. Somber says this. Whoa there. Yeah. Ty says Bernard Bernard Beast. I wouldn't compare him to AB yet, but I love our wide receiver core. Finally, let's go here. Tortilla says this. I would invent a flying oven and put big flying pizza out of business. You know what? I that's a Tortilla comment, but that's also a Cody comment too. I would expect that,
right? Yeah, for
like,
one of those two.
Cody's like, screw delivery pizza. Let's just deliver the whole oven.
I'm going to deliver the store.
Let's deliver the whole brick and mortar.
That would be a Cody comment.
That would be Cody for sure. RB, my man. He says this. Curious how we know Will Howard and Drew Aller destroy any sort of coverage. We've never seen either one of them take a snap in the NFL. Speed of the game is 100% different than college or the NFL practice. What's up, RB? Great seeing you, bro. Let's go right here to Tortilla. He says, happy poop. Happy poop. Yeah, let's go here. Ty says, yes, I can't wait to see Aller Howard preseason. Somber says, I don't know where I got this YouTube currency. LOL, maybe a promo thing? I'm not sure. Jamal says Cody isn't that creative. But it just seems like one of them just out of the blue things that he would say. You know what I mean? It's like, how cool is that? We're going to have drones flying pizza. Cody would just be like, I'll drone the whole oven to you. Just, you know, it's totally in his area of Codiness, if you will. LOL, the animation. John, dude, always great seeing dude in the house. He says, good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon to you, dude. Always awesome seeing you. Let's go here. Yeah, I'm going to just jump for 1 second. Just Learning says, deliver me a babe. Yes. You know what? It won't be that long because we are going to, as we mentioned before on the show, we're all going to be banging robots before you know it. So you're going to be able to have robots probably fly right to your house. And, you know, and they're getting really human-like too. So you just never know. It sounds funny now. But you just wait. You wait till everybody else is banging robots. Then we'll see.
Everyone else is banging robots. Jesus.
Yeah, everybody's a tough guy at first until you got a robot bent over your kitchen counter, you know. RB says this. RB says, I don't get the Rubio hate. A 6th-round pick who was tracking to be a late 2nd to 3rd, mid-3rd before injury. So many people take the mock draft sites as some sort of mandatory agreed-upon board. RB follows it up by saying this. Rubio, if healthy, could be a really great rotational piece against the run. Somber says that's literally why they took Rubio, Lowry, and Lee comp. Also, Ty says this could be, we'll see if he even makes the team. And Tortilla says not having a pitcher for him definitely didn't help my blood pressure.
I'm not going to lie, Tortilla. It didn't help mine either. And I know that's a stupid reaction. Like, kind of like, you know, like they don't have a pitcher and they have a draft profile. Why'd we take them? You know, but then, you know, we stop and read up on him. Is an all right pick. If he can stay healthy, it reminds me of Corey Trice. Yeah. Reading up on him and the injuries and how he was playing and how well he played against Vega, against them in the playoff games last year before, whatever it was. Like it gives you hope, but at the same time, a little pause because of injuries. But for a 6th-round pick, it's worth a gamble.
And let me hit Brian real quick. My man Brian Pasquale in the house. Always great seeing you, Brian. What's up, brother? He says this. He says Ryan's robot will probably bend him over the counter. If I'm lucky, this will be the case.
Brian, we both know that's a really, really good possibility.
That's a very good possibility. And again, as long as I stick any of them damn butt plugs in my ass, I'm okay, I guess. I don't know. Them butt plugs really freak me out. If you're ever watching porn and see like this little pink tail hanging out of a chick's asshole, I don't know about you guys, but porn's weird these days. I used to just like it whenever it was porn. Now it's weird. There's a whole bunch.
Well, porn has always been weird. It's just now more more relevant or more not relevant, but more easily
I can't just
accessible.
I can't watch these chicks that have they have this little pink thing hanging out of their asses. It looks like a deflated balloon a lot of times. It's just hanging there. And again, I don't know how anybody can be turned on by this, but you got to. I scroll for a while. I'm just gonna say that I scroll for quite some time before I find myself content. Let's do Scoot on the board here, please. Let's go to Tortilla real quick. He says this Ryan's robot will be a pregnant Asian woman. You know what? That might be the only way. The only way I ever see a pregnant Asian, of course, I've never seen a pregnant Asian in my life. There's only 10 trillion of these people walking around on the planet. Never seen a pregnant Chinese woman in my life. And you know what? I challenge you. I know Somber says he does, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. Let's skip on the board here a little bit and get back to my man RB. He says this in the same with everyone saying guys aren't plug and play. There's that damn plug again. We're not even started.
You and the plugs.
Plug and play picks because guys are raw on or projects doesn't mean these guys can't play at all. It means they have a massive ceiling. Cody is in the house. Cody, what's up, brother? He says this, Mike. He says Mike's robot is going to be Drew Aller.
As you see, Cody, number one fan, Drew Aller. And if that robot is Drew Aller, I will be happy.
Christophus, he says this, guys, you really have to suck as a quarterback if you can't have success with the receiving core we have. Our wide receivers and tight ends are awesome. I hope you're right, dude. I mean, everything's looking good so far, but I got to be honest with you, everything looked good last year and everything looked good the year before. I mean, when Russell Wilson came here, we were all excited. We were like, oh, we're going to win football games, and things look very similar. And then last year we were like, oh, look at all these pieces we put. And again, very similar. So again, people could say players, people could say coaches, whatever the answer is, we're going to get an opportunity to look at a whole different project this year with new coaches, new players. So again, we'll find some things out about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see if they could get back in their winning ways, at least in January. I think everybody's hoping for this. Let's go to Cody where he says Tater is Miles's butt plug. Tater is Miles Skinner's butt plug.
Oh.
Cody is in the house. Somber says, good morning, Cody. Christophus, our offense is going to average 40 points a game. Cody says this, Somber impregnated a few of them in his 60s. Let's go up here to Ty. He says, I'm happy with this A-Rod BS. We own him now. And then Tortilla says this, Ryan might be safe if it is Alar. Also, Tortilla says, I mean, Mike, damn it. Mike, let's get into this talk a little bit about Aaron Rodgers. First thing I seen this morning pops up and says this, Steelers placed the rare right of first refusal tender on Aaron Rodgers, meaning that he could accept a 10% raise off last year's salary, which would pay him about $15 million this season. If the Steelers and the Steelers also now will have the right to match any offer sheet he would sign with any other team. As another condition of tender, Rodgers would only be able to sign with the Steelers once training camp begins. Let me just scoot along a little further here. Also said this, as of 4 p.m. on Monday, lost unrestricted free agents no longer count in compensatory formula. However, now the Steelers have issued the rare URFA tender to Rodgers. Should he sign with another team, the Steelers will get compensatory value for losing him. Should Rodgers not sign a contract by July 22nd or first day of camp, the Steelers will then have exclusive rights to Rodgers, and thus he can only sign with them. Mike, explain to us in layman's terms what all this means.
Kind of like Tyrone said, we own him. Like he is ours. And we did this too to help protect ourselves for that comp pick as well. Like Somber saying, to make him around like a fourth, fifth, sixth round, fourth or fifth, probably comp pick in the formula that's out there, depending on who we signed and whatnot. I like this move, and the way the Steelers have been building this team, and then this move right here shows that okay, Plan A was Aaron Rodgers. Plan B is going to be one of the three other quarterbacks we have on the roster going for developing the two, maybe starting one or not. So this move right here just protects us definitely for the comp thing. And just because, give us an extra pick in 2027, because I think we're down to pick via trades. And that kind of tells Aaron Rodgers, you're either going to be a Steeler or you're going to be retired, because a team will have to work out a deal with us. So a smart little bookkeeping move by us, and it's very rarely used. That's telling me Aaron Rodgers is either going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or he's going to retire.
Yeah. So so we basically we're kind of putting him in a position here, aren't we?
Yeah, it's we're forcing his hand. Like, hey, do you want to come back or not? Like,
So this tells me, Mike, that it's possible that they don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, or a lot of people just
yeah,
assumed that you know what, how can they not know something? They communicate a lot. Mike McCarthy is a good friend of his. They played together, they worked together, blah 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 blah, and that was the speculation. And a lot of people that were catching a lot of hell by saying that Aaron Rodgers kind of has the team handcuffed in a way. But at the end of the day, I think that this kind of shows the Steelers maybe don't really have an idea what's going on with Aaron. It's and again kind of putting him in a position, Mike. So I don't know where to go
yeah.
with this now. I was kind of convincing myself that yeah, they know, they know.
Or they, they had an inkling, and then they had their dates. Like, hey, by this time, like, hey, for respect for what you've done in your career and what you did with us last year, we're going to give you time. We're going to give you time. Okay, now you've forced our hand. You've used up all your goodwill with us. It's either you're going to be with us, or we're going to force a team to have to trade for you. So this is this is it, man. This is the red line in the sand. Like, you take it or leave it, because we continue to build this team um, for a quarterback of the future, and we have potentially two of them on the roster. There you go. Take it or leave it.
All right, let's get back on the board, guys. I do want to say thank you so much yesterday for everything, everybody. We were up over almost near 1,000 messages. I do thank everybody. I knew it was going to be pretty bumping after the draft, and getting a chance to see everybody's thoughts and opinions, and also participating in the poll, guys. We appreciate all that. Thank you so much. Let's get back on the board. I want to get to it, Mike, because again, I if I go 2 days in a row with missing a message, I'll lose my mind. Let's go right here to Ronald. He says this. I do want to say what's up to Ronald Albright. Good afternoon to you, sir. He says, I remember, and I read ahead on this, and I'm going to say off the top, I agree with you. Ronald says this. I remember when the Steelers drafted a nobody like Aaron Smith and Brett Kiesel. Everybody was killing the Steelers for taking two nobodies. And how exactly did that work? And that's the thing. You don't build a team off of all first round picks. All these guys coming in, if they contribute, they get better, they grow, they become better players. And again, like you said, these anchors that were Brett Kiesel and Aaron Smith were such a huge part of the team that won the Super Bowl. So again, at the end of the day, we get all excitable when it first happens, and oh, nobody knows who this guy is. But at the end of the day, who was really cheering for the big Aaron Smith draft pick, or the big Brett Kiesel before the beard? I assume, I don't recall. Who was really loving these guys? And nobody. This is what football teams are built like. It always has, always been. So again, it's that immediate right after emotions. You see some things go down, like you've seen with the Cowboys and the Eagles. I'll talk about more of that here in just a moment. But Mike, it is what it is. It's just, in my opinion, it's a case of us getting worked up.
Yeah.
We have players now. Let's take a look at what we have. Let's try to figure out how this is going to work out to our favor. And I got to be honest with you. I think that we had a pretty good draft, all said and done. One of our locals said it. I'm not going to report that. I'm not going to say the name, but he made the comment, Mike, it's growing on me. And you know what? The more you do sit back and realize, okay, this is what we got. Let's see how it plays into what we have. It does grow on you. However, Mike, another local says this, Mike, it was more of a PR draft. If you will, by taking the kick returner early, by grabbing Drew Aller with your first start pick. It would seem more PR than we were basically going off of needs, grabbing wet gen. When we did, these players could have totally been taken later. So people were saying, do they not know what they're doing? Or was this more of a PR draft? Mike, what's your thoughts on all that?
I don't like, the only quote unquote PR pick would be Heidenreich. He's the Navy guy. He's a local guy. But if you follow the draft process, he was someone who was talked about being picked around in the 7th round to bring into camp as a Swiss Army knife type player. Wet Gen, yeah, he was talked about probably like your 6th round. So if you want to say they drafted him too high, okay, but if you like a guy, you get the guy, because we kind of saw what happened with the Mekhi Lemon thing. We thought he was going to be there. He wasn't. So you get him. There's 31 other teams out there that may have liked Wet Gen, and we only had that 1 4th round pick. We used it on someone else, hoping he'd be there in the 5th. 31 other teams could have snagged him, and now we're kicking ourselves. So get him. And who cares where you draft him, as long as he comes in and produces. It's a solid player. Awesome. And like just going back, looking at these past three Omar Khan's draft, there's a whole hell of a lot more hits than there are misses, and a lot of later round guys have made the team. Like I think there's only one guy from this drafted from the sixth round down that has not made the roster from the Steelers, and that was Ryan Watts. Every other sixth and seventh round pick we have made has made the roster. So there's a really good chance that Rubio, Spears, Jennings, and Heidenreich will make the team and will be active participants on game day.
And something that I'm sorry, something that Mike McCarthy did say will help you along that line if you want to believe that them guys will be a part of this team. Mike McCarthy opening up the playbook for Heidenreich. Mike, I think that he sees something in this guy that maybe a lot of people do see. People obviously look at the guy immediately and get the Caitlin Clark impression. How could this person be the best player? How could this person have the skills to compete? So again, this is going to be something I'll be looking forward to. Of course, being him being Mount Lebanon right here in Pittsburgh, going on in Navy, great story, and being drafted back by the Steelers. But again, Mike McCarthy's already talking about opening up the playbook. I think there's a certain talent with him that he sees, and it kind of falls into that category that we always talk about, Bill Belichick's crop, this crop of these average size white guys that he just pulled out of his ass every year. One year was Danny Woodhead. One year it was, the whole thing. So let's take a look, see what we got. He might surprise us. But Mike, this here is let me stick to this just a hair or just a little bit about this theme of this draft. People saying that it might have been PR, but you know what? There's another thing that came up, Mike. Of course, everybody was excitable. Fired up about going off and on about on Friday was, of course, the Mekhi Lemon situation. This was Art Rooney says this. He says, as we heard yesterday, Mike, we talked about Jerry Jones says there's no ill will. There was no, we didn't plan to cause problems here. We want no trouble with the Steelers. And Art Rooney comes back, Mike, he says, and there's no ill will towards Jerry and the Cowboys as well. So whatever. But let me ask you this. Does this stir anything up for you? Let's say we would have dealt Patrick Queen to Dallas. Let's just say we would have given up one of these defenders that they keep harping on.
Yeah.
Does the Dallas Cowboys still let that slide in the draft, or are they more attentive and saying, because again, at the end of the day, the player went to their division rival.
Yeah, if they would have got one of the guys they were poking around for. And don't forget, years ago, they were apparently on the phone with Ryan Shazier saying, hey, we're going to draft you, and we swoop in and take him. We hired Mike McCarthy. They fired Mike McCarthy. We took a couple of their coaches off their coaching staff, or guys that were formerly from their coaching staff. It could be. Our rivals in the historical sense of like two historical franchises. We have the upper hand on them in the Super Bowls, like what 2-1.
But you play them once every 4 years, so that's totally irrelevant.
But there's owners compete against each other, and Jerry Jones has been around for a long ass time, so he's probably a little stick to him if you can. But it's kind of weird that you're going to make a trade with your own division rival, because usually if you're going to do that, you want to know like, not what player you're picking, but what kind of position. If you're scooping up in here, what position are you thinking? And if they're saying a wide receiver, why would you go? Yeah, we'll let you come up here and add to that receiving core. It's weird all the way around, but this is what makes sports fun. Three organizations that two are rivals, Steelers, Cowboys, quasi rivals. What's really going on behind closed door? Who's trying to screw who over? It's what makes sports fun.
I'm gonna just wrap up the Dallas Cowboy talk today because I'm already tired of thinking about them, Mike. But I do want to say this: if this helps you at all, and this may help. Juan Valdez-Scantling is signing with the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, MVS.
Ooh.
He was here last year for briefly with us, Mike. He is signing with the Dallas Cowboys. So there you go. If you're trying to figure out the bottom of our wide receiver room, he will not be included. MVS is signing with the Dallas Cowboys.
Horrible pickup by them.
They're going to find out. They seem, they seem very desperate right now. Dallas just the way they just go on all off season about we want this guy, come on, give us this guy, and nobody's helping them. And then they turn around and bring in MVS. Yes, they do have some good receivers. Obviously, they had some nice draft picks, but at the end of the day, they're sure playing the desperate card. It feels to me, but maybe that's what 30 years of not making it to the NFC Championship game can do to a team.
Yeah, they're very desperate, and there's still conflicting reports. Like, did Pickens sign his franchise tender? Did he not sign it? And if he did decide it, like, is he going to play? Or are they trying to extend him? Or are they going to try and trade him? So, excuse me, they still have a lot of drama going on there and a lot of uncertainty in their receiving room. And to think if MVS will replace anything George Pickens did, whew, that's crazy.
Mike, so let's again. I'm done talking with Dallas.
Fuck them.
I already shit this morning. I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Aaron Rodgers here. Now, Aaron, he so with this all going down, what do you expect next? And again, this kind of threw me for a loop because I'm at the understanding that I kind of had an idea what was going on with him. But again, this move here tells me that the Steelers aren't as in it with him as I thought they were.
Yeah.
What's the next step in this process for Rodgers? Again, July 22nd. Is that July? Is that what it is? July, not June, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, July.
I mean, that's a long time to not have your quarterback, but it is the start of camp. So whatever. I'm like, at the end of the day, what do we expect now from Aaron Rodgers moving forward? Because we have 3 months.
Yeah.
Because this is April 28th, May, June, July 20 something. Like that is still almost 90 days away, and getting damn close to the beginning of preseason, which we know Tomlin didn't play him in the preseason. We don't know how much the new coach would, but Mike, again, what's the next step for Aaron, for the Steelers, and what you see happening with this whole situation?
For Aaron, it's probably going to be more of the same of Aaron Rodgers, of him just doing whatever the fuck he's doing right now, hanging out with his AI wife, going on some ayahuasca trips, enjoying seeing his name bantied about. Maybe make a couple appearances on the Pat McAfee show. But for the Steelers, it seems to be just going to be business as usual. Okay, plan A probably was to, hey, Aaron's coming back. Cool. And we have a developmental quarterback. And then as the draft process went along and you're not hearing Aaron Rodgers and he had not signed, okay, we're going to draft another developmental quarterback that we like in case you don't come back. So now we have 2 young guys to potentially start, and we have a veteran to start that could hopefully run this offense well enough to where we can win some games and rely on our defense like we've been doing for a while now. But hopefully this offense will score a shit ton of more points. And that's where the Steelers are right now. They're going to go into these training camps. Hopefully, like, Will Howard's going to get a lot of looks because he's been in the system for a while. They kind of know what they're going to get out of Mason. And then you keep working with Drew Aller. So you probably operate under the assumptions that Howard and Rudolph would be the ones fighting for the starting job while Allard develops in the background. And that's probably going to be their approach.
It's just interesting. Let's get back on the board, see what everybody got to say about it. We got a lot to get into today. We do have a lot to get into, but I do want to say this, Mike. I don't want to go any further without wishing everybody a...
Madam, I request that you immediately send me pictures detailing your beautiful bosom in support of the national holiday known as Titty Tuesday.
Titties and tacos. That's right. It's Taco
yeah,
Tuesday.
baby.
It's Titty Tuesday. Let's get into it, guys. Back to the board. Great to see everybody today. 2 Dum Yinzers. Somber says this plus 15 million would make him a 4th-round comp pick and so on. Also, RB says this, Mad Max is raw, but as we stand today, he is already better than Dan Moore and Dylan Cook, he says. He probably is already better than Broderick. He could be a top 3 right tackle, but is going to need work and time. Tyrone says this, smart move since he wants to take 50 fucking years. You know what? That's right. That's where I'm at now. Because again, I thought I had an idea. Now I don't. I'm pissed again. Let's go to Jamal. He says this, he is a baller, so I won't argue that. I think that's Mad Max he's talking about. Let's go to Cody. Cody says, if the robot maids get pregnant, I'm going to have 50 robot kids from every robot race, and I'm not going to take care of any of them.
Cody living out his 1950s traveling salesman fantasy.
I like it. I got to be honest with you. Let's move on right here to Tortilla. I want to see Max and Darnell do the Oklahoma drill. It might cause a black hole. You aren't kidding. That is a couple of big guys, man. Let's scoot along here too. Right here. Somber says this. It's also telling me that there was never any verbal agreement. Correct, Ryan? So, I'm back on the board. I'm back on board of being irritated with Aaron, where I was doing pretty well. So maybe it went this way for a reason. So I didn't lose my mind in the meantime. But we have 90 days apparently to find out if our quarterback's going to be involved. You got to say that that's probably putting us behind the eight ball, but I'm not going to start this argument now. We have a lot to get into. Let's do scoot along a little bit. Right here to Tyrone. He says that would be cool to see for real. Jamal says this is Corey Trice still on the roster. Mike, is he even still on the roster?
I believe he is still on the roster.
Wow. What a shitty career he started off with.
Right? Like just injury after injury after. When he's got in there, he's been all right. He's shown flashes, but can't stay healthy. I think this is his last hurrah.
It's unfortunate because I like Corey Trice from day one. I liked his size. He's rangy. I thought he would have been perfect opposite side.
Yeah.
JPJ, had he been able to come along, but that never happened. Yeah. And you know what? To be honest with you, injuries didn't let that come along. So unfortunately, Mike, I think you're right. Corey Trice, unfortunately, he's on the roster, but unfortunately, we're probably not going to get what we want out of him, which stinks. Mike, I would have loved to have Corey a big part of this. He had that nice interception in the end zone a couple seasons ago. I thought we got our guy. We have a guy, maybe not the guy for over there, but we have a guy, and he's not. He didn't even make it to being a guy, so that's unfortunate in my opinion.
And that's why he fell. He had like third round grades on him, but the medical dropped him down to 7. And you roll a dice on someone like that.
Let's go to Christopher. He says this: we didn't look good last year. All teams had to do was double Metcalf and no other. And you know, and that's obviously not the point I was trying to make. The point that I was trying to make was we did bring in all these superstars. We did bring in DK, which at the time we had George Pickens. We did bring in Jalen Ramsey. We did bring in Jonnu Smith, and we did bring in Aaron Rodgers. So again, people were feeling up. They were feeling optimistic. And at the end of the day, you know, we leveled out. We finished 10-7, basically where we thought. We hoped that we would at least, and then maybe get a playoff win on top of that. That didn't happen. So that's just kind of where I was going. We were. Well, here's the thing also, Christopher. They were saying that this is going to be one of the best defenses ever. You know, so I mean, we were excited. We were feeling that they were going to do well, and they did well enough. But again, at the end of the day, we certainly want to see improvement with our squad. Tortilla says he's in the hospital. He's saying, I don't know if he's talking about. I don't know who, Corey Trice. I don't know. Who's in the hospital, Tortilla? RB says, I think the play here is being tendered. He can participate in off-season activities. I believe tendered guys can be around.
Yeah, I looked it up. They can do, I think it's voluntary workouts, but not mandatory workouts.
Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, Aaron is a bum. I need to take the clip off my workout playlist and add it to the group chat. Also, let's go here to Tortilla. He says, yeah, I don't think Rodgers is going anywhere. Yeah, I don't see any teams trying to steal him off us, I got to be honest. Let's go to Christopher. Christopher, yes, Corey Trice is still on the roster, and he looks good. I hope so. I hope he plays well. Again, it's just been a disaster to this point for his career. So unfortunate. Cody says he's a bum. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, well, now he has no choice. It's either Steelers or retire, old fuck. Cody says, Mike was cheering for Deontay Johnson. He was at one point.
I was cheering for Deontay Johnson.
He loved the way he ran backwards.
I loved the way he ran routes forward when he caught the ball.
Let's go here to Jamal. He says, I can't wait to see him on the field. Jamal says DEI draft, which again, there was 5 white guys, so he might not be wrong. Out of the 10 picks, they did manage to get 5 white guys on the team. So maybe
and your philosophy, Ryan, is you know, limit the white guys to the O-line.
That's right. I sure as hell don't put them in the other positions. Let's go. I see Tater. What's up, Tater? Tater, of course, the resident Browns fan from across the pond. Yeah, that's just bizarre, but there he is. It really exists from, I don't know, Scotland or Ireland or England, wherever the hell he thinks he's from. There's Tater on the board, the big Browns fan. Jamal says, shut up, Tater. Just shut the fuck up. Cody says this, if we had Deontay Johnson, Drew Aller, Mike would be over the moon.
I would be ecstatic. My nipples would be hard. A lot of things on my body would be hard if I had Drew Aller and Deontay Johnson.
Somber says this, I actually wanted Aaron to come back because I know if he doesn't, it's a real possibility to start Mason until he F's up so bad we put a rookie in, which will be week 3 if I had to guess. Somber says this. He also says, I physically can't watch Mason. It hurts my. He's tough, dude. I'm telling you, I get that same vibe. I think Mike always looks at me like I'm insane, but I just when I watch him, it makes me insane. He makes me nuts. He really feels like he's stiff to me. He really, I don't know. I have a hard time watching him. I just do. I have no real rhyme or reason. I just do.
That's fair.
Let's go to Christophus. Do you have as much money as Corey Trice? If not, then who's a bum? Who called him a bum? I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's go here to Tyrone. Anybody but Mason. I take Derpy over Mason. Jamal is saying Derpy over Mason. I don't know if anybody's taken Derpy over anybody ever in the history of Derpy, but there you go, Mike.
Derpy.
Ty or Jamal. There he is. Look, you can't tell me he can't be a guard. Look at that belly
Guard
hanging out
right there.
Come on.
Like, you imagine the battle that Derpy and James Harrison would be having at training camp.
Yeah.
That would be a battle of the ages.
Triple D. No triple D there. Let's go right here to RB. Says no one would have believed that Bredesen was going to go where he did, including the Steelers. Nowakowski was a great consolation pick prize, but no one would have predicted fullback in the 5th. And I was reading this morning, Mike, that Mike McCarthy is excited. He's excited about that pick because he loves to use the fullback in his offense. He likes to do a lot of different things, a lot of different looks, and having the fullback involved. So this player could be involved more than some people are even giving him credit for, or even thinking about, because you got to remember Connor Hayward is now in Las Vegas. So we're trying to fill that void, Mike, of that fullback position, and knowing that Mike McCarthy likes the fullback position, we might see more out of this kid than originally thought when he was drafted.
Yeah. I anticipate to see a lot of him playing fullback, H-back, a little bit of tight end here and there. He's going to be used to do all the, like you said, all the dirty stuff. He's a more athletic, more polished Connor Hayward. Meatwad 2.0.
But they're saying that he don't run the ball as well. He said Meatwad does better with the ball in his hand, where this guy would be better in more blocking situations, which a fullback should be.
Yeah.
But so if you're trying to compare and look at the comparison between him and Meatwad, you would have to say, as far as it's being reported, Meatwad is better with the ball in his hands. And again, he doesn't do it much, but when he did it, there was no mistakes. It wasn't like Meatwad was fumbling the ball. He was able to convert short. Things that, so again, that is just something that I'm seeing reported, Mike, if we're talking about that fullback. Let's do stick on the board here. I'm going to go here to Somber, where Somber says this: Cowboys essentially fucked themselves. That's all I can say about that situation. You're right. And that's what makes me think that they didn't do it on purpose, because why would you put yourself in that situation, especially knowing the Philly's good anyway and having the weapons that they have, and win the division basically all the time over Dallas. So I tend to believe that narrative, Mike, that there wasn't a big conspiracy against the Steelers.
Did Jerry Jones know the Steelers were on the clock, got that phone call from Howie Roseman? He's like, hey, man, it's Howie from the Eagles. He's like, the Steagles? The Steagles are back? I'll trade with the Steagles. I think he had like a case of like dementia kicked in there. He was training in the 1940s. Got confused.
You know what? Let me go back right here, because I did find the note that I have. Mike, Steelers pick of the glue guy, of course, Nowakowski, Riley Nowakowski. It says analysts say that Steelers. Okay, he was one of the Steelers' favorite picks, is what I'm trying to say. He's a fullback. He's a weapon that's a fullback. Mike McCarthy generally likes to use fullbacks in different ways. So that was what I was basing that off. So again, some little scoop on that. And again, Mike, that was Connor Hayward. You don't like to admit it, but he was a big part in certain ways. Those little things that he did well, he didn't make mistakes. And at the end of the day, that's important.
Yeah, you need. Not everyone's a high-end athlete out there. I mean, you got guys that are just ballers and that can make a play when asked to and not fuck up. And towards the end, that was Meatwad, and hopefully, Meatwad 2.0 and the Polish sausage can get it done.
Let's go to, let me read a couple more things about some players that we just drafted, some comments, Mike, maybe about some of the guys on the bottom end. Everyone continues to obviously talk about the big guys, the guys at the top. I want to talk about a few of these other people, Mike, and some things that are said about them. Quarterback coach Tom Arth on Drew Aller. He says this, Mike, he throws it as well as any quarterback in the draft. He has an effortless arm and can make any throw on the field, and that's something that's consistent with what I'm hearing. He does have a strong arm. People are saying that I'm reading this morning also, Mike, that he just that offense wasn't made for Drew Aller and Penn State, because people are always going to come back and say, well, Will Howard wins a championship and this guy wins 6 games on a struggling team and breaks his ankle. Why are we even having a conversation? But Mike, the the arm of Drew Aller seems to get a lot of people's attention. I'm not a Penn State guy. I'm very minimal on what I've even seen of Penn State. Tell us a little bit about Drew Aller's arm, because again, let's give us some scoop on it.
He can make all the throws. His biggest thing is, like we've been talking about, his footwork. It causes him to lose a lot of zip on the ball. His under pressure, sometimes he does some of the dumbest things that you'd seen, but other times he can use his athletic ability to buy time in the pocket, under duress, arm at a weird angle, and thread the needle. So like consistency is a big problem with him. With him, footwork needs done, and like you were saying, that the offense was not tailored towards him. Terry Smith was on one of the radio shows saying, like, yeah, our biggest problem was the offense wasn't tailored for him. It was like whatever the offensive coordinator wanted to do stupid little plays here and there, do tricky things, but they never really recruited high-end wide receivers. Like when he had a weapon, he had Ty Warren, you saw what he was able to do. But outside of that, he wasn't able to do anything. The offense wasn't tailored for him. But he himself has a lot of work to do mechanic-wise. Like they totally have to tear down his throwing motion and restart. Maybe it's going to go from footwork up, and then up here too. He can process, but I think
that's what they're saying. The footwork is the problem.
Yeah, and he panics a lot. But I think it's because maybe he didn't have the weapons to know, like, okay, so and so is going to be here. I get it out. I know where he's going to be. More or less, it's like find where Ty Warren is and get him the ball. So there's hope for him, but I'm not holding my breath. I wish him well, but he's going to be a 2-year project at least.
Anybody that we have on this team have the cognitive abilities to be a good to lead to do anything even resembles leading a football team right now in the NFL? Of course, we haven't seen either one of these guys take a snap in the NFL, so that kind of makes an interesting question. But I mean, above the neck. Because that's 90% of the quarterback position is above the neck. Come on, Patrick Mahomes is a little pudgy guy that looks like he has pregnant ass, and Tom Brady was never the most physically intimidating guy in the world. It's cognitive. The people that are those top 5 quarterbacks that are on this planet at any given time, that's the difference. It's above the neck. I mean, a lot of guys can run, a lot of guys can throw. But again, that's the difference, Mike. Either of these guys show any signs or that you know of have this quality that's that could be something that could play to their advantage moving forward, trying to win this job. And again, like the big draft next year, a lot of speculation talking about a lot of these quarterbacks coming up next year. So these guys got to kind of, whether it comes down to them competing in preseason, if Aaron comes back, whatever the case is, we have to see these two guys. They have to kind of compete against one another in a way. What do you see there?
Maybe Will Howard might have what it takes up top, but I don't know if he has the physical tools to be the guy. He can be a guy that facilitates your offense, maybe like a shifty little point guard, making the smart reads here and there, not being afraid to eat a sack, stuff like that. But I don't know. It's a different breed going from college to the pros. We saw him make a lot of boneheaded plays in Ohio State that championship season, most famously against Oregon, forgetting the score and situation, keeping the clock running, going across the middle of the field, not knowing how many timeouts they had, not knowing where they were. So he's made boneheaded plays, but down the stretch, he was playing at a high level where he was keeping that going. But we've seen this from quarterbacks that have a good second half of their last year in college. It'll carry over to the pros for a handful of games. And after that, the speed of the game is too much for him and teams figure him out. I don't know if he has it to be a franchise guy, but to be a low-end starter, high-end backup, I think that might be the ceiling for both of these guys right now. Definitely for Aller if he can't clean up his mechanics. I think he's
what would you like to see from either one of these players in the preseason that might change your mind?
God. Trusting what they see, not waiting for the guy to get open. And play with anticipation. Trust your guy's going to be where he's supposed to be. Trust what you're seeing pre-snap, and then let it rip. Don't sit back there and wait for a guy to get open in the NFL because it's not going to happen. In college, like coming from Ohio State, you've had how many first round wide receivers that you're throwing to, going up against future car salesmen and insurance agents to where they're 4 or 5 yards of separation. You're not going to have that at this level consistently. So I want to see both of those guys trust their pre-snap reads, trust their receivers to get where they're going. And, if things flash by you so fast, just trust that they're going to be there, play with anticipation. That's what I want to see. That's part of the mental aspect of it. Because if they don't have that, you can have the best mechanics in the world and you're going to play like shit.
Let's move on the board, guys. Keep them coming. A lot of things coming up today. This show is all about you, the voice of Steeler Nation, baby. Keep it coming. This is where every voice is heard. Let's jump right back on right here where Tyrone, Christopher says, no NFL player is a bum. They get paid millions. Ty responds and says, when we say bum, we mean on the field. RB, I think 2 4th-round picks to move back a few spots and still get your guy seems like something I couldn't pass up for Dallas. Let's go here to Mark Malone. Always great seeing Mark Malone on the terrible board. He says they did us a favor by keeping us from drafting Lemon. I agree. Hey, listen, he's not the only guy in the draft. That's, at the end of the day, people are calling this whole thing a failure because they didn't give my Kyle Lemon. Well, guess what? You didn't plan on getting him in the first place. You really didn't expect him to be there. So you know what? It all kind of played out the way that it was supposed to. Beyond that, again, I don't know what to say. There's not much we can do.
Yeah. So, it was the prize that you were, it was the pipe dream of like, I'm going to win the Mega Millions.
Yeah.
And then the numbers were starting there. The numbers were getting there, and the last one didn't fall to you. But man, I still won $100,000. Okay,
yeah, you won $3 is what you won. Damn it, you won $3. No, I'm just playing. That's what I would win. Let's do scoot ahead right here where Sommer says this, and now they face Lemon twice a year. Good job. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel that it was malicious. I just think Dallas is dumb. The Cowboys, again, like the one team in the NFC that has not been able to figure out how to get back to the NFC Championship game in 30 years. Every single team, the other 14 teams in the NFC have all been to the NFC Championship game since the Cowboys had been there last. And you know what? That's kind of it's embarrassing because, again, they're a team that has a lot of clout like we are, and they got to be embarrassed. Get your ass together and do something. 30 years. I mean, that's some people's lifetimes, for crying out loud. Let's go here to Tyrone. He says this. Ty says, exactly. I'm going to laugh when he gets 10 catches, 200 yards on Dallas. Cody, that's also what happens. That also happens when you help division opponents get better. Tortilla says we can talk about Tater's mom. And then Tater gets all upset. He's like, oh, I'm talking about moms again. Mama jokes.
Hell yeah.
Like, I can just imagine. I like to be a fly in the wall to see Tater over in wherever the hell he's from and talking to his numpty buddies about rice cakes and tea. I'd love to hear that conversation. It sounds so invigorating. Let's go here to Cody. He says Aaron Rodgers is a media darling. I don't care what he says. Let's go up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Right here. Somber says this, regardless of who the quarterback is this year, Howard and Aller both have 1 year before they take another quarterback. How do you evaluate 2 rookie quarterbacks in 1 year? And that's a very interesting way to put it, Somber, because it's basically 2 rookie quarterbacks. So it's going to be something. It will certainly be making headlines this summer.
We will find out which one Mike McCarthy prefers the most based on reps. I just have that feeling. Whichever one he prefers at the moment, that's the one you're going to see getting out there more and more.
Let's go here to Tyrone. Very important question. Like, I got to say, this might be one of the most important questions I've seen on the board today. Tyrone says, did somebody say tacos? Always great with the tacos. Tyrone, hope you're getting them Taco Bell today. What is it, 4 soft taco supremes? Let's scoot up a little bit here to Tortilla, bro. Mom jokes are older than Ireland. Christopher, he says this, if you want to see how good our quarterbacks and draft picks are, meet me in Latrobe for training camp. Christopher will be in the house in Latrobe. You know what? I might have to go just to see Christopher. He's coming all the way from South Florida, and I can't make the trek to Latrobe. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go up and hang out with Christopher this year. Let's go to Jamal. Jamal says, "Laugh my ass off." Robot maids. We're not far. We're not far off. I'm seeing
We got a Roomba.
I'm saying we have the Roomba, but I'm saying between China and Elon Musk, they already have like millions of these things made. So who knows what they have planned for us next? That's all coming up. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. My man, what's up, Steel Loyal? Always great seeing you. He says this 49ers free agent wide receiver, Juan Jennings, is visiting tonight and Wednesday with Minnesota Vikings per source. Vikings, they got to figure out a way to bring it back together, Mike. They let their quarterback go to Seattle, and that whole thing fell apart. They were the best team in the league last year.
Yeah, that offense was high, firing on all cylinders. I've done everything I could to keep him around. But this is why you got to be careful when you draft quarterbacks in the first round. You better make sure you get the right one, because J.J. McCarthy, where his biggest play at Michigan was handing the ball off, handing the ball off, handing the ball off, handing the ball off. And then you drafted him to your team that's pass happy.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we should bring J.J. McCarthy here and just let these 3 Big Ten quarterbacks duke it out. Get rid of Mason, get rid of Aaron, put J.J. and Drew and Will in a squared circle and let them duke it out.
Oh my God, are you trying to have me have a heart attack watching?
We got 2 national championship winning quarterbacks. I mean, out of 3, that's not bad.
Danny Warfel won a goddamn national championship and a Heisman.
Yeah, but you know what? Tom Brady came in 6th round. So again, at the end of the day, you could.
And Will Howard came in the 6th round. So
there you go. A Big Ten quarterback out of the 6th round. And you know what? Will Howard won more than Tom Brady, as far as I remember. I can't confirm or deny. Sounded good at the moment, so that's what I said. I do want to say hello, nurse. What's up? Always great seeing Lindsay on the board. She says, "Hey, welcome to the terrible board. Always great to see you, Lindsay."
What up?
Tater says this. He says, "Cody, you were so funny, bro." Cody is actually really funny. Sombre says Latrobe is not a real way to measure quarterback talent. Tyrone says Juwan Jennings visiting with the Vikings. All right, that is happening. That is happening. Sosh, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Sosh all the way from Switzerland. Switzerland sounds like a wonderful place to be this time of year. But I wonder what the weather's like over in Switzerland this time of year. But Switzerland always sounds nice. Just certain places sound nice. Switzerland.
Does sound nice.
What's the one place that everybody goes to smoke weed? The thing nobody even talks about anymore because weed's here. But
it was the
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam's in the Netherlands.
That always sounds nice. I like to go there. Let's go. I do want to say what's up though. Welcome back, Sosh. Great seeing you. Ty 2490, Lindsay 9024. Let's go here to Cody 6969, 9669, Somber 69 420. Let's go to Cody. That's your go-to. Richard says this. It's sad that Trice couldn't stay healthy. Aaron Rodgers' drama is unnecessary. How hard is it to say that you're playing this season? It's not like he's going to show up for minicamp. I know. That's kind of where I'm at. It's not the pickup league here. It isn't like I might be down to play. All right, yeah, just go ahead and play without me, guys. There's kind of a lot riding on this. It's not just about him. This is a business, and money's being made, and lots of money's moving around. Are they going to bring back the Big Mac or not, or aren't they? You don't play that game when you're talking about making money, especially the money that's being made within the NFL. I agree. Again, especially if we don't hear for another 3 months. Kind of rubs you the wrong way. Let's scoot along here. Loyal Echo, that is Tyrone. Let's go to Ronald. Ronald says this, and for the wet gen in round 4, well, I remember the Chargers getting crucified by so-called experts for taking a small gadget player. His name was Darren Sproles. Maybe some of you should Google him. But for every Darren Sproles, there are a lot of guys that are too small and they don't make it. You know what I mean? But point taken, Ronald. I totally remember Darren, and great point that was made. Let's scoot up here. Steel Loyal says, scroll up Tyrone. Lindsay says, I'm not watching Mason at all. She says, I'm not even watching him. Ty Mason sucks. Mark Malone, the Magnum, is getting warmed up. Mark Malone is the guy who's keeping the single guy that's keeping the hope alive for Mason Rudolph. Somber says, not Derpy and Devo.
That's a buddy cop movie ready to happen.
That
Derpy
seems like
Devo.
That should be like a VH1, one of those reality shows, Derpy and Debo. Well, Debo's working out 5 times a day. Derpy's eating more than any man could
He's
ever
just sitting there
fathom.
topless, eating fucking
Yeah.
chicken wings.
And then Debo makes him shave his back. I would be so into that. I would be glued to the set. Oh boy. Let's go here. Mark Malone. He says this in a McCarthy offense, Magnum will be dangerous.
I thought he was going to be dangerous in the Artie Smith offense.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't going to say anything. Cody says Mason Rudolph turned that elite Tennessee Titans team around. You know what? Let me tell you a little bit of something about that Titans team. It is about the halfway point of the show, so I was going to wait till halftime to say this, guys. Get this. The son of WWE star Scott Steiner, Brock Rechsteiner. He's a wide receiver. He was a wide receiver in college, Mike. He signed with the Tennessee Titans. That's right. Scott Steiner.
Wow.
His son, Rock Rechsteiner, signed with the Tennessee Titans. So if you are, again, with wrestling last night, if you do, you're into wrestling at all, you will make that connection. Scott Steiner's son plays for the Tennessee Titans.
They're really surrounding Cam Ward with top-notch receiver talent. They ain't got an offensive line. He got Carnell Tate, a guy gambling, and Scott Steiner's son running around the field with a steel chair.
Yes. I read it.
He's just going to look around like, hey, Cam, what's your thought of year 2 of the Tennessee Titans? We still ass.
You know, it threw me off at first because I read it as Scott Hall, so I was thinking that it was Razor Ramon's son, but it's Scott Steiner. You remember that monster? He was dumb as dirt, but he was a monster.
Oh God.
Let's move on. Tyrone says that's dope. I can't wait to meet my goat. Tyrone also says I want to meet JPJ, TJ, J Ram, and Bernard. I'm really excited about Bernard, dude. I really am. I really am. Because again, we haven't drafted a receiver for this reason for some time, like a receiver to be effective, a receiver to be a weapon, if you will. And if you're talking beyond Michael Pittman, you have to start talking Bernard. And again, if he becomes a weapon, Mike, as a rookie, so excited. You would have loved to see this from Roman. Who knows what we're going to get from Roman Wilson moving forward? But Jeremy Bernard, I I'm at home. People are doing things, and everybody on the board, yourself, things keep crossing your mind. I just keep thinking about watching Jeremy Bernard play for the Steelers, Mike. I'm very excited about that pick. Number 2 pick for the Steelers overall this year.
I'm really excited. He's one of the receivers I kind of looked over because I thought, we would probably like first-round receivers look like Lemon or Boston, maybe Omar Cooper Jr. Then, he was a second-round guy. Well, that's probably where I thought we were going to get O-line. So then I went down to third and fourth rounders. I kind of glossed over him until after the draft and then started watching him play. I'm like, he's a really good receiver. Like the one guy I was watching him break him down, like when you watch him play, he's kind of boring because he's where he's supposed to be and catches the ball and then picks up yards. And no flashy moves, just subtle moves to get open, get the ball, subtle moves to make guys miss. And then next thing you know, oh shit, he's in the end zone. He's just one of those guys you're going to be able to, based on projections, like you're just going to be able to count on him to be Johnny on the spot where you need him to be. He can play inside, he can play outside. He had some really good catches along the sideline that were, AB-esque to where he was able to get both feet in bounds where we think there's no way it's going to happen. Do I think he's going to be AB? No, but those traits of the body control, he's more in line to like a Deebo Samuel type player he's been compared to a lot. If we can get Deebo Samuel type production out of him as the number 3 right now, I will take that. I think he's going to be a good little weapon in this offense.
I'm just going to jump ahead real quick. I do see a somber message down the path. I just want to say it now while I see it in front of me. Steelers free agent receiver Scotty Miller is visiting with the Detroit Lions today. He's currently scheduled to try out next week for the Chicago Bears. That is by Shefty. Scotty Miller. So there you go. If you're wondering, guys, maybe that he's still part of this receiver core, he is trying to find jobs elsewhere around the league. Let's get into some more. I do want to say this real quick about Jeremy because I love the name Jeremy. Come on. Jeremy Guys, he says this. He says it feels just like home here in Pittsburgh. He says thanks for bringing me to the Pittsburgh. Thanks for bringing me to the Steelers. So Jeremy Bernard is on his way, Mike, to great things. Hopefully here in the Berg. He's excited. I'm excited. I think Pittsburgh is excited. I think that everyone's love affair with Mekhi Lemon might finally be starting to fade away. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when you think about what we're going to get from Jeremy Bernard, and again, he's going to come up, and he's behind DK, and he's behind Pittman. So as these guys move on another year in their career, another year in their contract, he's going to be the guy that is going to be our number one eventually. So yeah, you hope to see that from the player, that ability in which you might believe that we're going to see from him in the future, Mike. So again, he's a big part moving forward. You just hope that he has it up here. I think so far that he does. There's no reports that he's a maniac. Yes, you like maniac, but again, wide receiver maniac's a whole different story. I'm liking Bernard, Mike. I cannot wait to watch. The highlights are fun. I have to watch all 22, but I'm very excited to see Jeremy Bernard.
Me as well. Like, it's just right now a really good quote unquote like possession type receiver. He's that's kind of what he is, and that's I know people like think, oh, possession receiver, you're not going to be a number one. Hines Ward started out as a possession receiver. Yes. It's more or less what he was too, even when he was the number one. You can have a great career being labeled that. And he brings a lot to the table too. You can line him up in the backfield. He's comfortable with the ball in his hand. They use him in a lot of trick plays down there in Alabama. He's going to be fun to watch. And probably the way we're going to use him, too. And I think watching him across the middle of the field, I think that's where he's going to be used a lot. Not just on crossing routes, but doing the routes that start on the inside and using his route running ability to fool some of these lower talent or some of these inside corners. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. I agree. I can't wait. But I do know I also can't wait to get back on this terrible board, guys. So much going on today. Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. You're amazing. You're awesome. Keep them coming, guys. Let's go here to where do I want to go? I want to go right here. RB says this Kitten Mittens derpy. Kenny might have him beat. Let's go to Christopher. Mason is bye-bye since we drafted Drew Aller. Somber, he says, well, Meatwad was a running back, so that makes sense. I know, absolutely. He was a running back in college, of course, and so was this guy. Let's go here to Kenneth. Kenneth says, hey, guys, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Kenneth on the terrible board. Cody says this, if we didn't get Wet Gen, we were looking at starting Spencer Anderson. We were starting Spencer Anderson at kick return and punt return as well. Wet Gen. Still Loyal says this, biblically accurate Spencer Anderson. Cody says Jerry Mike Jones. Let's go here to Lindsay. She says Super Hayward was the best. Scoot along. Kenneth says this, Aller still has processing issues. Cody, Drew Aller shows up in big games, though. He shows up in big games, except against Ohio State and Michigan, I guess.
And then promptly throws interceptions.
Like
crunch time.
Like the two big games that they have in that conference. But anyway,
we were so close to beating Oregon, and my man just chokes in like the third overtime.
Yeah, how about in Oregon?
He did take the national champions to toe to toe.
Yeah,
I think he was in that game. I can't remember.
That don't mean anything. Let's move along though. Tyrone says Aller Howard quarterback battle. Tortilla says Mike's about to throw up talking about Aller. Somber says this. He says footwork processing under pressure. Yep, it all shows up on tape. Cody says Mike's boobs are getting hard.
My nipples are rock hard.
Still Loyal. I'm gonna laugh when Aller comes out first play of the preseason and throws a 60-yard bomb to Roman Wilson for a touchdown. I don't think anybody will complain. Let's move forward. Tyrone says if McCarthy can work with him, trust that over Tomlin that for sure. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says Browns fans walk funny. they walk like that one girl in high school. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody had that girl. Let's go here to Somber. Somber says literally the opposite of Howard besides footwork. Kenneth is saying Howard is sharp cognitively. He says Howard is sharp. Sommer says he is. Cody says Gabriel Rubio. Christopher, Drew Aller wasn't processing. His wide receivers couldn't get open, so he had to hold on to the ball. It seemed like that team really collapsed when he was the quarterback. They were good for years and years and years. He becomes the quarterback, and they become the worst they've been in decades.
No, we made it to the playoffs 2 years in a row with Drew Aller.
No, I'm talking about last year.
Oh, last year. That whole team fucking sucked last year.
He's the leader, so you got to put it on him.
Well, then they fired old what's his nuts, and then the team got better.
Yeah,
I blame them both.
Who cares?
I can't blame Drew Aller now. He's my quarterback one.
Let's go here to Ty. He says, yes, I'll say that Aller has sorry coaching. No weapons. His best weapon was a tight end. That's true, but that that's not my fault. Christopher, he says this. He is not going to have that problem with our wide receivers. Somber says Sawyer Robinson slinging it around with a tight end and one wide receiver. Slung. He changes that up. Cody says difference between Howard and Aller. Aller doesn't throw interceptions. Is that true, Mike?
He has a very low touchdown to interception ratio, but when he throws interceptions, they are backbreaking interceptions.
Sounds great.
He will wow you for 3 quarters. Like, okay, this is what people are talking about. Then fourth quarter comes along, the game's on the line. Who the fuck were you throwing to? Were you throwing to number 27 on purpose? A different colored jerseys there, brother. What were you thinking? That's the Drew Aller experience.
Christopher says he's not going to have a problem with our wide receivers. Let's go to Somber. We did get that. I'm sorry. We're a couple behind here. I'm going to go here to Somber. He says, yeah, only in the big moments, Cody. LOL. Cody says he takes sacks to the face. To the face.
Sacks to the face. That sounds like a good night for Derpy.
And also, and Tater Tart. I don't see him anymore, man. He might be taking the sack to the face right now. Tortilla says this. Drew Aller versus Shador Sanders, the sack bowl. Zach Stone, what's up? Welcome back to the Terrible Board. Welcome back to the show. Great seeing you, Zach. Hope things are going good for you. Steel Loyal, Jennings Dunker versus Spencer Anderson, the snack bowl. I like that, the snack bowl. Mark Malone, I don't think Lemon is going to be that good in the pros. His size kind of is. I'm not disagreeing with Mark. Let's wait this out. Wait this out. Let's see. At the end of the day, wouldn't you just shit if Jeremy Bernard ends out having a better NFL career than Mekhi Lemon? I'm just saying.
That would be the cherry on top. That would be the situation.
The cherry on top. I got to be honest with you. I would be in all for that. Also, Christopher says, I told y'all Jeremy Bernard is better than Lemon. And I hope you're right, dude. I would love that. That would really justify things for folks here in Pittsburgh. Certainly a lot of people took that hard on Friday. The fact that they got jumped over, leapfrogged by the Philadelphia Eagles. Tyrone says somber with weak comp, though. Lindsay says Dunker's my favorite pick. You and Mark Malone both. Mark Malone has been very consistent with that Dunker pick.
Yeah, ever since he saw the flow, he wanted him some Jennings Dunker.
How can you not love that, right? Let's go here to John. To Dude says time will tell. Might as well be glass is half full optimistic. And that's the thing. I mean, why sit around and think things are going to suck for the next 3 months? Somber, he says he still threw more yards than Mendoza. Tyrone says true. I would hope so though. Somber says Roomba might be onto something. They have autonomy and sucking part down just to tie it all together. Steel Loyal laughed my ass off. Formulate the most mid-quarterback room of all time. Tortilla says this 2 McCarthy's, 1 cuck named Art. Jamal Cody, funny as fuck. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. He says my room, your room. Let's see. Kenneth says this Steelers might have just made Rodgers retire. Glad they grew a pair. Go Howard. Again, this makes me think a little bit because I was under the impression that they probably knew more than we were giving them credit for. But this move made by the Steelers this morning makes me think that they know less than what we were giving them credit for. So it's going to be interesting here to see what happens with Aaron. And again, as we were saying, guys, July 22nd is as long as this could go. And if he would play this game, and again, why would he, right? Unless he's being a dick. But if he goes all the way to July 2nd without giving us a decision, I think that's pretty fucked up, man.
Yeah, and if they did have deadlines and they kept talking to him, he goes, yeah. Oh yeah, things are on track, and then it didn't happen because they wanted it before the draft, and draft came and went. He's not here. Then this happened, so it tells me feels like he might have been stringing them along, and they're like, okay, we're still open for you to come back, and then draft day came and okay, we're executing Plan B now. We're going to move on without him. Put this out here to protect ourselves if he decides that he wants to go somewhere else.
John Dude says this: if Rodgers doesn't show up, more reps for Howard and Aller.
Yep.
Lindsay says Titans should be really good this year. Titans should be good this year, maybe. You know what? That boy, they really become a franchise to laugh at. I mean, they used to be something, man. Back in the 90s under Jeff Fisher and Steve McNair and Eddie George. I mean, come on, this was a proud franchise. They were tough, physical, and then even with Vrabel coming along and turning them around, a few years back. So again, to see this team going through these struggles, it's kind of embarrassing because that the pride that they do have in their Tennessee Titans down there. They really, they love their sports in Tennessee.
They do, and it's just I'm just trying to figure out what they're trying to do down there. It makes no sense. We're going to draft a quarterback, but we really only have one lineman, one wide receiver. They're okay, you're kind of fucked.
They're still running the Arthur Smith offense. What are you talking about? That's isn't that the game plan? It works so well for them, Mike. They're like, we have to continue to run this offense. Let's just continue.
Well, they do have 4 tight ends on their roster. I see.
There you go.
Too many wide receivers, though.
Let's go to Steel Loyal. Says Titans will be fun to watch. I don't know about good. Kenneth, the Steiner brothers, absolutely, man. Rick and Scott, the Steiner recliner, the Frankensteiner. Yeah.
No one's finer than Scott Steiner.
Tyrone says, Lindsay, just because they got Tate don't mean they're good. Christopher says, here in Miami Beach, I get all the ACC, SEC, and Big Ten games. I have seen Drew Aller play many a times. He is the best quarterback in the draft. He is better than Fernando Mendoza. You know what? I like when Chris talks. Come on. Everything that Chris has said today it's made me feel more optimistic about the situation. I mean, look at that.
This is true. Yeah. That's why I like Christophus.
Chris, when you just want to come on and talk for an hour? I'll just listen to Chris talk for about an hour.
If you're my man is always so positive. I love it. I love it because it's very rare you see a Steeler fan this positive and this optimistic. And I'm not trying to be snarky or anything. I fucking love that energy. Lindsay, I know I need it because I'm a grumpy Gus.
Lindsay says this, just Tate and Ward will be fun. And then just like us though last year, Lindsay, what can you do with just a quarterback and a receiver? We just went through that with one receiver. So hopefully, again, I don't care what they do in Tennessee, but it's weird to see that franchise be so terrible. Again, Mike, the Houston Oilers. I mean, they were the Oilers. This is a team that had a lot of pride and a lot of fans before, of course, coming to Tennessee from Houston. So it's weird to see them down and out like they are. Still Loyal says, Christopher, clean out your bong, bro. Clean out your bong for the big weekend, for the big visit to town whenever it comes time for the for camp. I think he's talking about Somber. Says this Steelers wide receiver. Okay, we did get that one. Scotty Miller is visiting with the Lions and visiting with the Chicago Bears. Mike, it looks like he's trying to get a job in the NFC North.
Good. Scotty doesn't know that we don't want him here.
He might be under the impression. Let's go to Scotty Too Hottie making his rounds. LOL. Remember that? Now we're talking wrestling. Grandmaster 6A and Scotty Too Hottie and Rikishi. They got up in the ring and they
got Rikishi to do the worm.
Yeah, and he had his big fat ass up there dancing and the whole thing. I loved it. Tyrone says carry to the 5th overall pick. Kenneth Jones says this: Bernard will be clutch like Hines Ward. You know what? I can't wait to see Bernard play. I can't wait. We got a receiver, Mike. We drafted a receiver.
I know. But it doesn't have RD1 next to his name, so it does not count. You're not allowed to be excited. Not allowed to be excited about him.
Lindsay says probably maybe 7. Steel Loyal. Maybe the Titans can get Jeremiah Smith next year. Tyrone, he says, I'm happy he got quarterback, though. But again, like us last year, what can you do with that? Unless you you have to have more, you have to have more. Otherwise, you become very easy to play and prepare for. Let's go here to Somber. He says more rumors of Weedle moving elsewhere. Is there? I heard something about a week ago that he was being. What was it? There was something.
For the Vikings, and another front office guy from the Eagles just left from the Eagles who was had a big hand in stuff. Are they trying to both go somewhere, or are they trying to branch off to do some other type of business venture outside the NFL? I don't like this reports of Weedle leaving. But you know what was going to happen eventually.
Tortilla says Aller will carry us to Cameron to Cameron Johnston. Ronald Albright says, I know he wasn't much last season in Baltimore's system. However, I would rather have Cooper Rush as a backup than Mason Rudolph. And at least Cooper has a history with Mike McCarthy. As a matter of fact, when I seen him a few times in Dallas, I didn't think he looked terrible. And Mike and I had this conversation at one point. He didn't look bad. But again, backup quarterbacks are what they are. They're not going to impress you. They're not great. They're backup quarterbacks for a reason.
Yeah.
And,
I know what I have in Mason Rudolph. I'm comfortable knowing he's go in there, look good, and then fuck it up. I don't want false hope from another backup quarterback. That's just me personally.
Let's go steal Loyal. How about no old QBs? Let's get back to normal and quit bringing in guys that are ancient. It's unbelievable what's going on with this organization. I hope we can get back to good days. Tyrone says, welcome home, Bernard. Welcome home, baby. That's right. I'm so excited about this. Ty says, yeah, Weedle probably out of here next year. Christopher says, I'm talking about what I know, not what I heard. Somber says, thankful for my time in Pittsburgh and the Steelers organization. Can't wait to see what's next. John Rice Plumlee after being released this morning.
What?
Yes, John Rice Plumlee. Did I
didn't see. I know. I didn't see that. I didn't hear that.
Yes, yeah, says this morning, John Rice Plumlee released by the Steelers.
Dang.
As they tried to convert him to a wide receiver. I don't know. I thought he was a hell of a quarterback. Very, very interesting in college. I liked him a lot actually. When they moved him receiver, I thought there's no way it's not going to work.
Nah, him and his wife were living in the team house and getting free meals. Maybe they got tired of it. And they're like,
I would be too.
Get the fuck out of here, you freeloading son of a bitch.
I'd post up in there.
I would too if that shit was available to me. I like Ocho Cinco did that. He lived in the facility for a couple years making big time money.
Tyrone says, Ocho Cinco lived in the Cincinnati Stadium for like 10 years.
Yeah, like what did you save some money?
Let's go here. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says we finally got wide receiver that don't crash out. Tortilla says don't speak too soon. Lindsay says Pittsburgh tends to make them crash out, so time will tell. Tyrone. Still Loyal Pickens was a crash out way before Pittsburgh. Tyrone says, yeah. So Bernard got it. Somber, yes, Riley played running back and linebacker in high school. Lindsay says, yeah, he was his draft. Yeah, he was. His draft stance was priceless. I do want to say what's up to S. Dresden. What's up? Welcome back to the Terrible Board. Glad to see you. He says the winner of Aller and Howard will be just average enough this year for the front office to fumble, taking a genuine quarterback 1 in 27. I thought of that too. What if one of these guys do well enough to fuck up next year's quarterback draft, and then after that happens, then they suck it up and they go back to being terrible and we don't get in on the quarterback? I'm just saying this. It has potential to be a disaster. I hope that it doesn't, but we will see what they got, and that's all we can do. I do want to say welcome back to the board, though. Still Loyal says the hot Cheeto girl. We replaced GP. Tyrone says Still Loyal says with Green Bay. Robert, what's up? Robert Kirkpatrick. There. What causes that, Mike? I have to know what causes that.
I have no idea.
You know what? And for some reason, it's allowing me to get back in my messages. But
yeah, it's weird. I don't know what. I don't know if it's like the too much bandwidth in the stream or what. I don't know.
All right, I was able to find my place. Robert Kirkpatrick says this: our returns will improve now with Kenneth W. and Eli's coming. Little twist on the 3-dog night. Great having you back on the board, Robert. Great seeing you. Sash says this: as a quarterback, you're supposed to make your receivers look good. Him not having any weapons does not matter at all. I hope quarterback isn't out of play for 2027 because of the Aller pick. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope we're not basing the whole future on Drew Aller.
I don't think they are. I think they view him as a long-term development, and if he pans out, awesome. You have people quarterbacks that you can trade because quarterbacks are in high demand. They're hard to find. And if he doesn't really pan out to be a starter, maybe you have got yourself a quality backup for years to go.
Tortilla says Drew O'Donnell. Lindsay Vanilla, let's scoot up a little bit right here to Christophus. We finally got a real fullback in the draft. Riley Nowalski. He's bigger, stronger, faster than Connor Hayward, and he also has good hands. Tyrone says this. He says Bernard, best wide receiver in the draft, highest upside. Wise, him and Tyson. Kenneth says many of Aller's highlights were 50-50 balls that either his guy or the other guy could have caught, and Aller got lucky. Lindsay says it's the ginger mullet for me. Hey, who does it? That's what I'm saying, Lindsay. Who's not going to love this ginger mullet? Who is not going to love Jennings Dunker? At the end of the day, he's going to be a fan favorite in Pittsburgh. He was born to be a fan favorite in Pittsburgh. He just looks like he's supposed to be a Steeler. There he is, the ginger mullet. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, yep, good move, Steelers. Robert Kirkpatrick says this: Drew will learn that he needs to throw sooner and step into the pocket and step before he throws. This is teachable stuff by staff and hopefully AR. And again, working with an offensive-minded quarterback, or I'm sorry, an offensive-minded coach, a guy that's worked with quarterbacks in the past and done a very good job, apparently, is in town. So, if anything, this is probably the best situation we're in as far as anything like this goes for some time now. You know what I mean? As far as bringing a young quarterback in, we haven't tried to really seriously develop a quarterback since Ben's been gone. I mean, you threw Kenny into the fireworks, and he luckily, without an offense and without an offensive line and without an offensive coordinator, he managed 10 wins. So at the end of the day, maybe, just maybe, this new offensive-minded coach can get something done and maybe get one of these young quarterbacks developed, and we could quit playing around. Let's go right here to Kenneth. Kenneth says this. Kenneth Jones. He says Howard's stats and completion percentage were better than 2024 Aller's stats. Tortilla Jackson. Artemis 2 was actually paid for by Art Rooney II, and the main mission was actually kidnapping Aaron Rodgers, taking him to the moon, and leaving him there. Maybe that's what's taking him so long. Steel Oil says Ravens are signing former Vanderbilt quarterback. There he is, Diego Pavia, Mike, to a 3-year deal per source. We're supposed to try out this weekend, but the Ravens signed him in advance. No tryout. There you go.
Oh my God. Whew. Talk about a franchise that's taking some steps backwards.
I think you're going to see that here in a couple messages. Steel Oil says I'm effing dead. Robert says in 2 years, Drew will be a Pro Bowl possibility. That's my prediction. Let's scoot here. Tortilla Pavia really is his own best agent. Steel Loyal, he's going to beat out Lamar for the job. Tyrone, he says Ravens are ass. And here's the message I was referring to, Mike. Ravens always, this is somber. Ravens always taking 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. I don't know about always, but certainly as of late, this has been quite the franchise, Mike. We're lucky they're falling into this as we are kind of going through some hard times as well, because if they were playing good football, they could be taking advantage in the biggest ways, winning Super Bowls, getting things done, making things happen, making the Steelers, making themselves look dominant in the division. That's just not happening. Luckily for us, Mike, they are kind of limping along like we are through their whole franchise quarterback's career. That's the difference. When we had a franchise quarterback, we ended up winning 2 Super Bowls in 3 visits. Mike, their franchise quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, is just not getting it done. This is what I'm talking about. Mike, they are just not taking advantage of the Steelers kind of limping along, and it plays to our advantage, and it's going to keep us in the game when we get healthy and we get good again, and maybe we could jump them and we could do something great and leave the Ravens in the dust. Because, again, Mike, it hasn't always been this way for Baltimore. They've always ran their team pretty well.
Yeah.
It's been the last 5-7 years or so with them.
And they really haven't been the same since Ozzie Newsome retired.
No, they haven't.
He was I just put it up on their record since 2018 when he retired. They've only had 2 playoff wins since then. He was the architect of that team. He's the one who got Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, all those guys. They just have not been the same. So they're really missing hit. There's someone of his caliber as GM, because it's been like kind of like Sober saying, a couple steps forward, a couple steps back, man. And they just can't get it together. And signing Pavia to a 3-year deal, yeah, you probably be able to cut him, and it's not going to affect your cap. But that's just weird. A weird situation down there in Baltimore.
That's a weird group of people. We could all admit to that. Tyrone agrees. He says, "Fuck the Ravens." Christopher says this: "Meet me in Latrobe, guys. I'll buy you guys a beer and whatever you guys want from the food trucks. I am going for the fiery chili and cheese. I can tell you what, I'm pretty sure our people from Duquesne Pilsner will be in Latrobe as well. How about we treat you to the beer this time, Christopher? It's on us. How's that? We'll meet you there. Let's move forward." Steel Loyal says, "I'll be looking for you, Chris." Hey, you know what? Steel Loyal coming also. You know what? We're gonna have to get together this time, Steel Loyal, and we'll make sure you all have some drinks. Let's go to Ty. Ty says, "LOL," or he says, "Loyal, you going to training camp?" Ty, you going too? Shit, we can have a whole thing, man. Ty possibly coming to town. Steel Loyal says, "Most likely." Let's go right here to Tortilla. Loyal got an invite. Steel Loyal says, "Yeah, I'm trying out for quarterback." Hey, we need it. Steel Loyal says, "Yeah, I'm trying out for quarterback. I'll bring us 7. I'll bring us to 7, baby." And you know what? I'm down for that. Let's go to Somber. Trust in Loyal. 7-Eleven Tortilla says, "Tyrone, we definitely got to link up." Also, right here, Christopher says, "What are you guys going to get from the food trucks?" I don't know. We'll take a look, see what they got. Sounds like a lot of fun, though, Chris. Steel Loyal, everything. Yeah, now you're going to talk him right out of not buying us anything. He says, "What do you want from the food truck?" Steel Loyal says, "Everything." Let's scoot along. Tyrone says, "A JPJ bubblehead." Steel Loyal says, "You're buying, right, Chris?" Look, Steel Loyal. He's like, you're buying, right? Before
someone mentions, "Yeah, hey guys, I'll hook you up with something." Everyone coming out the woodwork. Oh, it's on him. Okay, damn, Loyal.
Still Loyal. He's making sure all his bases are covered too. You know.
He's like, "I can leave my wallet at home. Cool. Can I catch a ride with you?"
Still, Christmas is really rethinking his idea. Steel Loyal says, "I'm getting everything." Tortilla says, a grilled PB&J. A grilled PB&J, Tortilla says. Christopher says, "Yes, I am." Let's go here to Steel Loyal. There's no way he just said Green Bay. Let's see. Steel Loyals. Oh, my bad. I have to get used to the GB for Jeremy. That's my man. Because I can't get past the fact his name is Jeremy. I can't really think of anything besides that, but all right, I do know this from now on. GB is Germany. Gotcha. Christopher says that grilled PB&J sounds really good. Also, right here, Somber says, "Get yourself some sour cream and onion chips with some dip, man. Some beef jerky, some peanut butter. Get some Haagen-Dazs, ice cream bars, a whole lot. Make sure chocolate. Gotta have chocolate, man. Gotta have it all." Kenneth says, "Allard 262 for 262 for 394, 66.5 completion percentage, 30,327 yards, 8 interceptions." Kenneth is saying about Drew Aller. And Steel Loyal is still talking about chocolates. He's still talking about food.
The man is
He says chocolate. Let's scoot up here. He says, now Howard's completion attempts were 309 of 423 for 73%, yards 4,010 yards per pass, 9.5 yards per game, 250.6 touchdowns, 35 interceptions, 10. Mark Malone say this. He say Dunker, Frazier, McCormick will be menacing. Imagine Beck under center behind those 3. And I do want to say this, guys. I do have it in my notes that Mike McCarthy did prefer. Jerry Dulac confirms Mike McCarthy wanted Allard over Beck. So I just want to throw it out there. If there's any confusion, I do know that Beck was certainly in the conversation, seriously, apparently. But Jerry Dulac does confirm that Mike McCarthy wanted Allard over
Mark Malone, this one's for you, brother.
Tortilla.
Take it in, savor it, because once he's gone, he's gone. I'm deleting him right
I
after.
thought that was from Half Baked Somber. I was definitely suspicious of that. Let's do jump right here. Tortilla says my leg. RB says sorry I'm behind. Wet Jen is 202. People were bitching about his size, but I wanted a 170-pound branch in round 2. You can't make this up. Let's go here to that was RB. Tyrone says Lindsay going to camp. She bring hold up. Where'd that move to? Lindsay going to camp. She's bringing food as well. Steel Loyal, how am I supposed to eat without my drink? Ronald Albright says this. I read where Jeremy is a very religious young man, so we can automatically put the nickname Saint Bernard. Saint Bernard, I like that. Lindsay says, yep, sure am. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says we're going to have a whole get-together. We'll take that shit over, baby.
We'll fucking take the probe over.
Let's
you bunch of D-gens and us. Fuck yeah.
Tyrone. D-gens and us. I have you as the D-gen in the group, but
I am an upstanding young man.
Let's go here. Tyrone says, I can't wait. Definitely pulling up meeting JPJ. I don't even care. He says, Somber says this. Lindsay bringing her world famous mac and cheese. Better make sure you start. Don't hope that tater gets. Don't hope that he gets that passport. That's all I'm going to say.
I know, right?
That's all I got to say about that. And I haven't seen him in here lately, which is a good thing. So, let's move on. Thomas Martin, what's up, dude? Always great seeing new faces on the board. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. Thomas says this. They're all good draft picks till training camp starts. Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth?
They're either all great or all suck until training camp.
Yeah. That's a good comment. Welcome, Thomas. Tyrone, let's scoot down a little bit here. Tyrone says this. Hold on. It just moved all over on me here. There it is. Tyrone says this. I've been the biggest fan 3 years ago. Mark Malone, you guys have to get Derpy stoned. Listen, Derpy's, there's something about Derpy that kind of makes that kind of stuff difficult. He travels with his dad.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because
Derpy does need parental supervision.
Well, for one, he doesn't drive. So for one, his dad has to be there. I don't know. That just kind of really sucks the fun out of things.
Well, we can get him messed up, and his dad's the one who has to deal with him, not us. So it's a win-win.
And the thing about his dad, it's like his dad should be our age, but it's almost like I look at his dad as an authority figure when we were
right when he was around, like he was off doing his own thing over there when we were doing the live stream that one time. It's like he was off on his own, like you said, like the elder statesman over there. You didn't want to do anything to piss him off.
Right. I was kind of watching what I was saying, and I really wasn't being myself, and that's what it was. And like I said, his dad might be younger than me for all I know. But as I said, in that situation, his dad almost feels like the authority figure. Yeah. So again, I'll try. I think Finch offered him the vape, offered him the pen last time we hung out, and he didn't. He didn't.
Didn't he have a drink, an alcoholic beverage, or no?
I don't know.
I think we'll get Derpy high. We'll get him some Duquesne Pilsner and see where the day takes us. We might get kicked out of training camp.
I do know that Finch did offer him the pen, though. He didn't hit it. So that's all I'm saying. It's just weird with Derpy. I'm not saying nothing bad about him, but I just thought to myself,
it is what it is with Derpy.
It's like hanging out with your friend and his parents.
Yeah. Maybe we can get Derpy fucked up and he can storm the field. Get Derpy streaking.
Nobody wants to see that. We've already proved that nobody wants to see that. Let's see. Where are we going right here? Somewhere right here. Okay. Lindsay says, yeah, I am somber. Also, Zach Stone. Zach says this Pro Bowls don't count anymore. All pro is what we're at. Absolutely. That Pro Bowl game is a joke. I hate the fact that they even made it into a joke. Again, it's for the kids. It always has been. It always will be. And you took that and took another thing away from the kids. No wonder they're fucking nuts these days. They don't have anything cool. Let's go to Ty. Ty says this. Lindsay, don't forget the ribs. Yeah. There's going to be ribs. Ty says this. Okay, we got that Tortilla. Tortilla says, remember that time I agreed with you, Chris? Lindsay says my rack of ribs. My rack of ribs. Anyway, man, there's gonna be ribs involved.
A rack of ribs and macaroni.
Ty says 100% on that, man. Sash says this, Sosh, if you will. I'm sorry, chocolate. If you are not Swiss, you shall not talk chocolate, sir. Robert Kirkpatrick, and I just want to say he's in Switzerland. So if anybody knows, I just want to put that there. Robert says this: if it's true, that Vrabel stepped down from the Patriots GM job, or is that more social media clickbait? I have not heard. Robert, Mike, can you confirm or deny?
I haven't seen any. I'm on Twitter right now, actually. I am not seeing anything. I'm going to do some digging.
All right, let's go to Sombre. He said it's quite, it's a quote from Half Baked. You know what? As I said, as I'm reading it, I'm thinking I'm pretty sure this was from Half Baked. Lindsay says jump scare. Let's go here to Mark Malone. Massive hailstorms here in Southwest Missouri. Window breaking shit. Wow. Well, stay safe, dude. Shit. Ty, definitely glad rather Aller than Sloth Boy. You know what? I think I am too. The thing is, I don't know much about either. I know that Drew. I know that Sloth Boy was in all these championship games. I'm not saying that he did that all, but I'm saying he was involved in at least 2 Georgia championship games, and then again in Miami just last year. So let's go here. Steel Loyal says looks like a full moon. Lindsay, that would be hilarious. Steel Loyal says Thunder the Tate Man is definitely a D-Jet. Thunder is a bit of a D-Gent. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says this: us in public will be interesting.
Fuck yeah, it would be.
You know what I was thinking? We might need Derpy is the person that comes and has to bail us all out. Because
we're fucked if that happens, bro. We are beyond fucked.
We'll be jam packed in Latrobe's holding.
We will never be allowed back in Latrobe.
Derpy's dad. We'll be all. He'll be disciplining us on the way out and shit, telling us how fucked up we were or whatever we did. Let's go here. Tortilla says Tater already got his couch in Latrobe. Let's go right here to OD 40K. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. He says, good afternoon, fellas. First time catching a live stream from you guys. Hey, man, welcome. I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board OD 40K. Glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Lindsay says this be a fucking pride. It will be a big problem. You know what? Right now I'm seeing at least potentially 6 people right out the cut, guys. We could probably put a nice tailgate together and really wreak some havoc when we get to Latrobe. Tyrone says Tater threw out his couch on the curb. Lindsay, Tater threw out his couch on the curb. Lindsay tells him to shut the fuck up appropriately. In response, Christopher says, you guys ever tried the lava cake from me?
Oh
yes.
I'm just reading what he does to it, and I'm like,
hold on, let me finish. I couldn't get it out of my mouth first. Have you guys ever tried the lava cake from Dom? And yes. I'm sorry. All right, let me try again. Have you guys ever tried the lava cake from Domino's? I put them in my pressure oven to heat them up. Soft Oreo cookie crust and molten chocolate love on the inside. Ice cream. Dude, I love the lava cake from Domino's. Love it.
I think my insulin just spiked reading that post, and now I want it.
Yeah, man. I know you really like Domino's pizza. Like
it's cheap and it tastes decent. I like it.
Let's go right here to Steel. He says this: Steel Loyal Derpy needs parental supervision. Is hilarious. and what people got to understand,
he does.
And you hear his voice, and you think, all right, he's 30 years old. Believe it or not, Derpy is 30 years old. If he was underage, he wouldn't be with the show.
I mean, look at him.
He came along. He was an adult, and there he is. Needs parental vision.
Look at those little hands. Look at those beady little eyes. Those man titties. The gut hanging out.
I'm not sure if that's not a titty.
Could be a titty hanging out.
Something hanging out. Let me move along though. Let's go to right here. Tortilla says this. He says, if I go to training camp, I'm buying a blue wig. Steel Loyal, he says, bring some boxing gloves too and throw them at DK. Tortilla. Yeah, you're going to need them, baby. If you're going to be wearing the blue wig for sure. Somber saying, buy a dunker wig. A blue dunker wig. I like it. Lindsay says tortilla, getting them hands from DK. Steel Loyal wearing it to training camp. Steel Loyal also says I'll grow my stash out too, baby. Tortilla says this Dunker wig sounds like something Tater would call.
Get Dunker wig, get numpty.
You numpty Dunker wig. That does sound like something he would call us. Where is he when we need him? He's never here when we need him.
No, he's always here at the wrong time of the day.
Anytime that he could be valuable in conversation, he's never around. And then when we don't want him, we're talking about other things. And he's like, oh, is Grandpa going to be playing?
You're going to draft Constipation. The Browns get him. He's a great player. I hate that.
Slumber says this. He says a sea of Dunker wigs would be epic. That would be epic. Tortilla says, laugh my ass off. How funny. I swear I look forward to the show and comments for this this best time, Steel. Hey, bro, we appreciate that. And like I said, man, you were as much as part of the family as everybody, bro. We enjoy it too. We look forward to this every day. Can't wait to see you guys. Steel Loyal says everyone in this chat show up to training camp with a Dunker wig. Yeah, then we're definitely going to the holding cell. I'm just saying. But you know what? I'm in. I'm not too proud. Send us to the cell. I'm in. Let's go here to right here. I gotta scoot up a little bit. Somber says, okay, never mind on the Dunker wigs. Everyone show up with derpy titties.
Derpy titties and Dunker wigs.
Mike, I mean, we could really market these derpy titties. I think we could walk around and sell them there up there. Titties here, and just wave them. You know that. Come on. Somber slow. Tyrone says lava cake slap fat. Yeah, dude, you ain't shitting, man. I love those lava cakes. I love them. Tyrone, but it's none like the no, dude, ain't nothing quite like Taco Bell. Nothing. And my cheesy gordita crunches. Lindsay, my son just made me get him a box of Krispy Kreme last night. He ate them all. And I was just telling Mike, I've had a sweet tooth lately too. I try to stay away from sweets. I don't eat a lot, as a matter of fact. But he had what the hell started me? Oh, it was Reese cups around Easter.
Reese cups, yeah.
And then Mike's been bringing these cookies. He gets them for his kids. He gets them from McDonald's. And they're fucking bomb. Tortilla, social justice, Obama, warrior, SJO dub. Christopher says this. I hope they have those giant beef hot dogs with the beef chili and cheese on top at the black food truck with the the chili picture on it in Vegas. I can you be a little more specific, Christopher? I'm not sure I know which one you're talking about. Ty says I love donuts. Where mine at? Ronald Albright says the only move I wish the team would do, but likely not, is to sign undrafted wide receiver Eric McAllister.
Yeah, I was surprised he wasn't drafted. And I just checked. He's still out there. A big-bodied receiver like him. I have no idea what's going on there.
Somber, yeah, you ain't shitting them Cinnabon Delights too from Taco Bell. I don't know if ours even still has that, but I do know that they used to, and I used to love them Cinnabon Delight balls. They're like little cinnamon balls with that whatever's in them, they're fire. Lindsay, he ate them. Mark Malone, I wonder what Debo was thinking right there. Probably the same thing we were thinking when we were derpy, right? I don't even know. What was Debo thinking in that picture, Mike? What's your assessment, just real quick? I like to.
He's probably like, who the fuck is this fat fuck? And why does he smell like cottage cheese?
So I was thinking something along the cottage cheese. Yeah, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to go just there yet, but yes, cottage cheese, I'm sure, was what he was thinking. Tyrone says, now you're talking somber. Lindsay, oh my God, I missed that comment. Tortilla. Steel Loyal, he says it's the best of both worlds. Lindsay says, you can go to the holding cell. I'm getting out of it. Hey, that's true. We don't got vaginas. We're going to be stuck in that holding cell. Lindsay's going to be on her way home to Pittsburgh, and we're going to be stuck up there waiting for Derpy's dad to pick us up and get us out. Double derps. The double derps, Tortilla says, are saying double derps. I like it. Somber also says, Lindsay going to leave us there. LOL. Tyrone says, Lindsay, so that's how it is. She says, yes, I'm not going to pick y'all up in jail.
Damn, man.
She says, I'm not. It's just not going to happen. Maybe Christine will. Christine, I do want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the board as always. Christine, everybody's planning on getting together for the camp up in Latrobe this year, and we're just trying to figure out who's going to bail us out. It's either going to be Lindsay, Derpy's dad, or maybe Christine now. I don't know. We have to find out. Let's do Scoot Along, though, here. Lindsay says, flirting. Yeah, exactly. Flirting my way right out of that. And yeah, you guys definitely have us beat. Even with the scarlet wig, I don't think Mike's going to be able to flirt us out of this. Let's go right here. Hey, listen, Mike, Christine already said yes. You don't listen. You don't have to continue. Just stop it. You're going to ruin it for everybody. Christine already said she will.
I was hoping. Look at me. Got my eyes, officer.
I don't know what the hell you're getting fired. What you're going to jail for. Let me move along right here, though. Let's go to Ty. Ty says, I'm good. I got JPJ pay my bill when he gets that $30 million. Lindsay said, y'all were funny today, as you are as well. I do want to say welcome to Christine Somber. He says this, I blame Christophus for all the food talk. You know, everybody, and I know right here where I'm at, it's 2:30 p.m. A lot of people are out to the west, I do know, on the terrible board. So I'm getting ready for lunch, Mike. All this food talk is making me extremely hungry when we get off today. I don't know what it'll be, but I see food in my future. Somber Christine, what up? Also, let's go right here to Steel Loyal. I'm about to make some Southern style gravy and biscuits. Y'all got me hungry. That sounds amazing as well. Tyrone says, Christine, welcome. We had fun today. Also, go right here. Tortilla Debo was thinking I could beat this motherfucker's ass. He's probably thinking, can I lift this dude? That's probably what he's thinking. Because you know those big guys that all they do is lift weights. Everything they look at, they kind of analyze the same way. How heavy is that? Can I lift that? Can I lift that above my head? Hey,
On his next workout video, it's going to be, forget pushing the sled. It's going to be benching derpy.
Yeah, and that cottage cheese smell.
I don't know why I did the bench all the way up here.
Probably because you're not used to working out. I would be my guess, but that's just a guess.
It's been about 5 years. That's fair.
Let's go here to Ronald. He says, well, remember, McAllister did plead guilty to pointing a gun at someone, but admitted to it and has no incidences since.
So that's prime wide.
Wait, you said he's a wide receiver? Yeah,
that's a wide receiver one mentality. I'm sorry, that shoots him up my draft board.
Yeah, that gains him some respect. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, Mike laughed my ass off. Christine says, are we? I guess we are now. We have about 5 or 6 people already on board, so we have 3 months. Let's get it together. It'll be fun. Lindsay says Vanilla is definitely flirting his way out. He's going to try.
Lindsay. Thank you. Someone recognizes
emphasis on the word try. Really
tries to do the heavy lifting in that sentence. I admit that.
Tyrone, this ARD news got us energized. Aaron Rodgers, of course, I think he's saying, of course, that and that also makes me wonder why I don't know as much about it, or why did I think the Steelers knew more about it than they do from what we're learning today. Again, Steelers making a move, kind of putting Aaron Rodgers in somewhat of a situation. But again, if Aaron doesn't want to participate until July 22nd, he doesn't have to, even under this, guys. So again, at the end of the day, that's still 3 months away. Let's hope it gets taken care of sooner, just at least so we know what the hell is going on for our sake, because that's what's important. Let's scoot up a little bit more here. I'm going to go to Christine. She says, I was out power washing my house until I got attacked by spiders. So screw that. Never going out. You know what's funny about Christine? Christine can build a house like in a day. Give her some nails and a hammer. But if a spider comes along, or a midget, she's like, she's beside herself. I think it's amazing. The other day, she was like, I took the carburetor out. I rebuilt it. I put it back in. I lifted the car up. I worked underneath. But you bring up a midget. She's gone. She's gone. I don't know. There's something funny about that. I like it. Tortilla says this. What does Tortilla say? Tortilla says this. We'll be in jail saying Lindsay will get us out, and they'll think she's some crime boss. Or she's made up, like a made up person.
Just wait till she gets here. Just wait till she gets here.
Lindsay.
Wait till Lindsay will get here.
Tyrone, he says, we're not hostage anymore. You know what? In a way, you're right. In a way, but still, we got to see how this is going to play out. Tyrone says Christine and Lindsay both don't like spiders. I'm gonna throw fake ones on their shoulders. Lindsay says we can work together. Teamwork, vanilla. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. Christine says, sorry, Tyrone. Tyrone says, and hit record. Oh, definitely.
I mean, look at these flowing locks, those beautiful batting eyes. We are getting out of everything, Lindsay. We are going to save them boys. They need us.
Christine asked this. She says, where are we staying? That's a good question. We're still in the early processes of the planning. I was planning on going, but now that I'm seeing that more people that we're talking is continuing talking about going, this could be a lot of fun. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, damn, Tyrone, you like spiders? Tyrone says, they don't affect me to be. You know what? I'm the same way. I have no problem with spiders at all. At all. I never did. I never will. I just don't know why I do. I don't know why I don't. I just kind of chalk it up under I'm insane. And I like looking at them. And if there's a spider, I'll watch. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says, ain't you supposed to be fighting crime in Queens? Let's go to Tortilla. He says, Spider-Man. Lindsay says, we are. Somber says, ever since that spider bit Tyrone, his senses have been heightened.
Yeah, but it only works for Taco Bell.
Yeah, baby, that's right. Somber, let's go right here. I'm sorry. Christine says this. She's been bit by a recluse spider twice. So no wonder you don't like spiders.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Aren't them things like as big as a cat? I mean, they were fucking spiders, man.
They're the ones that they can cause necrosis and your skin to deteriorate. Yeah,
fuck that shit. I mean, listen, I'm not saying I love spiders or I would even touch them, but I do like them. I'm not afraid of them. Let's go to Christine. She says, I love snakes as well. I had snakes in my life. She says, I love snakes. Spiders make me lose my damn mind. LOL. I get it. They're shifty, man. They kind of freak you out even when they move. I get that. Tyrone says, so our faith in getting out of jail is Lindsay with mac and cheese and Mike Wig were saved. We're hoping Mike could flirt us out of there because it sounds like Lindsay's gone. She's flirting and getting the hell out of jail.
I got us, boys. I got us.
We're gonna be dealing with hardened criminals. Let's go to Christmas. Christine, do you have a girl cave? Like we have men caves in our basement decked out with Steeler stuff. I could see Christine, just from what we know from her from the board, I can see her having a chick cave and a lot of Steeler stuff. Somber laughed my ass off. Lindsay, y'all are saved. We got y'all. Somber said this. She does indeed, and it's effing epic. Let's go, Mark Malone. Yeah, they're big, but not poisonous. Okay, gotcha. Scary, absolutely scary. And let's go here to Somber. She showed us her woman cave in Discord for real. In group chat. People come. Let's see. I'm gonna just jump over to this board here. She does. Yeah, they're not big, but poisonous. Group chat. Christine says people call me to come get snakes off their property. Ty says. We said fuck the Steelers today. Tortilla, his biggest enemy is Dr. Arthur. Cody says Mike can't be within 50 feet of Drew Aller or Krispy Kreme. You nailed that.
Okay. Hey, just because the Krispy Kreme I was holding the Krispy Kreme, not with my hands, and Drew Aller happened to be there, and there was extra cream filling in the Krispy Kreme. It was just a misunderstanding. That's all. Hopefully it gets rectified.
Why there's always extra food in your orders? It's always something I always wonder with the extra cream and with the extra fries.
Well, where was I holding it to cause the extra cream?
I have no idea. I haven't looked at you in 3 years. What are you talking about? That's why I keep my hat like this.
It's probably for the best.
Why? The less I have to look at you, the better. Let's scoot along here a little bit more, though. Let's go to Mark Malone. He says, I don't screw with snakes. Hey, what's up, Robbie? Robbie back on the board. He says, I hope Heinz Field keeps their restrooms clean this year so they smell really bad last year. Here's a little scoop for you, Robbie. I do want to say this. The stadium's 30-year lease, both stadiums actually, for the Pirates and the Steelers, they are both set to expire in the next 5 years. So all this talk about Acrisure Stadium, Mike, I got to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if something would go down because, Mike, the River Stadium was only 30 years old. It was built in 1970 and tore down in 2000. So these stadiums were built in 2000, 2001. We're just a couple years away from 2030,
right?
which is the period of time of the duration of the life of the River Stadium. So it wouldn't come on. I mean, all these new stadiums popping up, and even Shitville, Cleveland getting their dome. It wouldn't surprise me, guys. Don't think that we're stuck with Acrisure Stadium if you don't like it forever. Mike, there's just 5 years left on this lease, and I'm not. I'm going to say this could be very similar. What went down with Three Rivers. One of the two stadiums. I bet you any money. They replace one of those two stadiums, Mike. I don't think both. I think one.
Yeah, I just wonder where they're going to go and put them, and that's going to be the hard part, because you can't tear it down and then rebuild it in an entire offseason. That'd be rough to try and get that done. So it's going to be interesting, because you don't want to take the stadium out of the city, because if you do, it's just going to totally kill game day atmospheres and shit like that. They gotta figure something out.
We'll put it out by Lindsay's. We'll put it out by the airport.
By the airport. Yeah, that works for me.
Keep it always busy out her way.
And we'll invite Tater to all the games.
Let's go right here. Yeah. Cody says that's not what I heard. Still loyal as long as it ain't a dome. Exactly. I want no dome. Christopher says, what kind of poisonous snakes you guys have? Well, we had Ravens fans in town over the weekend. Them snakes. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really know what's busy or what's venomous and what isn't. I just know that when I get ball pythons, they're not venomous. I do know that. The Black Mamba, Cody says. Tortilla says the Art Winnie snake. Lindsay said it will always be Heinz Field, and you know what? I agree. I just started forcing myself to say the other one because everybody else is now. Acrisure Stadium. Let's go right here. Well, right here. Tyrone. If I could just get it to where I want it. There we go. Tyrone says, I think I saw Ryan's eyes 3 times, and I've been here since last year. And now you know why. We learned why today. Let's do Scoot Along. Drew Crispy. Tortilla says, Cody, that's not what I heard. We did get that for, where am I at? It's bouncing around. Okay, so Lindsay says, no, thank you. Christine says, I'm supposed to put my dad's ashes on the field at the Steelers Stadium and in Monongahela River. That would be really cool, actually.
That would be cool.
Dad, a big Steeler fan, was, I'm assuming. Let's go here to Lindsay. She says, we are good. Out my way. You don't want a stadium right out there by the airport? Tyrone says, Ryan, Mike, y'all see my crash out video? You know what? No, but you are lucky, because I have a copy, and I wasn't going to do it unless it was brought up, because I didn't know how you thought. But if you guys are ready for the crash out, this is just the audio. I had it on tap all show, and I wasn't going to play it unless Tyrone brought it up, but I do. If you guys want to hear this, this is Ty's crash out. Now, was this just from this draft, Tyrone, or was this from the past? Is my question. Because we did get somebody did send this in. I have it right in front of me, as a matter of fact. We're a button away from hearing Ty's crash out. Was this at the draft? Was this past drafts, or was this from something in the past? I don't know. Throw it up. Just kind of give me a heads up on that, and I'm going to play it for everybody. This is Tyrone's crash out. Now, from what I'm getting on this is this was the crash out, and I think that Steel Loyal added music to it. So this is what's going on in this audio. Here we go.
I am so mad right now. I can't even see straight. I just want to say, oh my, fuck you, dumbass bitch. You stupid bald-headed fuck. You would fucking smoke the fucking draft like you know, bitch-ass would. Fuck the Steelers. Fuck Omar Khan. Fuck Rito. Fuck Mike McCarthy. Fuck all Woody. I am so mad right now. I just want to say, oh my, fuck you, dumbass bitch.
And I love the metal. I love the fact that he put the metal in the background. You know what? That's
I'm
actually
so
classic.
mad right now.
And
I
you know what? We could gather a collection of
Yeah.
all the crash outs. I mean, we
Yeah.
had Derpy's crash out on draft. We have Ty's crash on crash out. You and your classic crash outs, Mike. We could put together a whole montage if we had. There you go, everybody. But that was Tyrone. That was Tyrone, guys, crashing out from the draft just this past week. But you know what? That's what you come to expect when draft time comes.
Exactly.
As far as Steeler fans go, I'm not. It's right on par, in my opinion, and I'm here for it. Mike, your thoughts on Tyrone's crash out from the draft?
Yeah, this is great. This is why I love sports. You get so emotionally involved into it, man. This is how you know you love your team. And you want things to go a certain way. It doesn't happen. You just let that raw emotion out. And then eventually, you'll learn to love the pick. This was like me when we drafted Lawrence Timmons and Lamar Woodley back to back. I'm in a bar flipping the fuck out years ago when this happened. I've been there, Tyrone, and it feels so good in the moment when you do it. I'm right there with you, brother.
Or Derpy after any pick that isn't an Ohio State guy. This is how he gets it, which is ridiculous because, again, how many fucking Ohio State guys can you possibly draft? But anytime there's a pick that isn't an Ohio State guy, dude, there you go. That is exactly. And I love the touch. I love the putting the music with it as well.
It was fucking beautiful.
Still loyal on top of things. Thank you for that, man. Thank you. He got that to me yesterday, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna bring it up. I don't want to embarrass Ty. But there you go, everybody.
Oh, he couldn't wait though. But pre-show we were talking. He's like, "Oh man, you just wait. I hope Ty brings this up."
Let's get into some more of these messages, Mike, and I do have a few more things I want to talk about, and then we're going to start getting ready as we're rounding third of the show. So we still have a few minutes. Let's move forward. Christopher says this: snakes don't like cold weather. They don't, but we do have them. They go somewhere in the winter. They seem to, and then they pop back up. But usually in pretty wooded areas. You don't see snakes generally, unless you're high grass, weeded areas, wooded areas, things like that. Lindsay says, no, we don't. Also, Steel Loyal says, oh, hell. So funny, Tortilla. Steel Loyal says it was right after the lemon situation. Oh, I can imagine, man. I could imagine. Also, let's go to Christina. She says this. We have everything here: rattlesnakes, copperhead, water moccasins. I used to catch rattlesnakes with my. That's what I'm saying. See, there's Christine catching snakes in the water and shit, sticking her hand down in holes and pulling shit out. And but the spiders just she won't do though. Tyrone play. We did, baby. I love it. Steel Loyal, fresh on his mind. Oh my God, an epic crash out. Lindsay says, yes, it was Tortilla. Cody says, when you guys go to jail, everyone's going to have a cool story. And Mike's going to say, got within 50 feet of Drew Howler.
And I will have a Krispy Kreme donut stored away.
He will have Krispy Kreme donuts. Cody says that happens every 2 or 3 games. Tortilla dead ass. Christophus, not in the cold weather, right, Christine? Yeah, definitely not in the cold. But they do come out when it's hot. Wherever the hell they go, I don't know. Back to Baltimore, I'm assuming. Tyrone says this. That was for the Max pick. Gotcha. Lindsay says he was so pissed. Cody says we should talk about the Kansas basketball incident. Lindsay says we definitely deal with his crash outs on a regular. Let's go here to Christine. They pretty much hibernate and hide in caves for the winter. Toward Tyrone, that was awesome. Let's go here to Ronald. Great song. Now we just need the Yinzers to play the Jim Stafford song, hit Spiders and Snakes. Yes, we can. If they didn't dock us, or
yeah, right.
We certainly would. Here's the thing. I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm not even getting into that. Christine says lots in the desert areas, of course, around Sagebrush in eastern Oregon, Idaho. Also, Tyrone says my buddy is in tears at work. And then Christine finally says this: they be basking in the sun right outside my house growing up. A couple of things, guys, before we do get into the last segment of the show. Just a couple things, Mike. Tomorrow, I really wanted to do it today, but we started kind of getting off track. Tomorrow we're going to go through the draft picks, Mike. We're going to grade each of the draft picks from this draft. We're going to go through all 10 guys. Also, tomorrow we're going to talk about the undrafted free agents a little bit more. Still, it's the six, 7 guys. Hasn't been anything else since we talked yesterday. So tomorrow we'll hit on that kind of a midweek conversation. So we'll grade. We'll go individual through the draft picks. We'll grade them. We'll take a look at the undrafted guys. Take a look at what it is we have coming in from this week. So today I'm going to just bypass that to tomorrow. I'm going to say these couple things that I do have written down, though, Mike. Alex Texa, he also is invited to Steelers camp, Mike, also from Navy, also from right here, a friend of Heinrich. They're friends. They went to high school together. They went to Navy together, and it's T-E-C-Z-A, Alex T-E-C-Z-A. He's invited also to join Steelers camp. So just interesting, Mike, because again, Heinrich, a lot of different opinions. Some people think he might just be one of these guys like Bill Belichick pulled out of his ass every year. Other people say he's too small, he's too this. So just going to be interesting. Another local guy, a buddy of Heinrich, Mike. They will both be at camp this year as Alex Texa did get the invite from the Steelers.
902 yards, 10 touchdowns last year, but that's Navy's bread and butter is just running the triple option. So scrappy little guy. We'll see.
What did Heinrich get? I mean, because both of these guys are there. They obviously both did well enough. One got drafted. What did the guy that got drafted actually do?
Hold on, I got to pull him up. I'm sorry, I did not have Heinrich ready. I had to go through and find him here. Of course, they would not make it easy for me to find Heinrich. Let's do one of these. Oh my God! Fill some airtime, Ryan. It's going to take me a second.
I'm having fun. I'm watching you panic a little bit, and I'm actually enjoying it. Everybody's staring at Mike. Look, Chris
just stare at me. Okay,
Chris is staring at you. Cody's staring at you.
How do you spell Heidenreich?
Vegas, he's staring at you. Christine, she's looking at you. Tyrone, Somber, Jamal. Everybody just stare at Mike.
You guys are assholes, and I love you all. Now my computer's going laggy. Oh, my computer's. I'm like Drew Aller right now. I'm crumbling.
Look, Mike was all worked up because I don't look at him. Now I'm looking at him, and he's freaking out. Everybody's staring at you.
Oh, I hate you so much.
All because you wanted to go get the other guy's statistics.
Well, I just wanted to see what he had.
We're all still looking at you.
Okay, Heidenreich had 900.
Look, hold on. Before you say anything, Lindsay put eyeballs up on the screen. That means she's really, really looking at you.
So
Cody, he's looking at you.
I have his stats.
All right, let's move on. Go ahead. All right, come on.
499 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 51 receptions, 494 yards, 6 touchdowns.
All right, there you go. Look, Tortilla already had it up on the screen.
Right, Vegas? The pressure got to me.
The pressure got to you. Yeah. Let me grab a few more messages, Mike, and we are going to get into some trivia question of the day. Right about here, I think, is where it looks good. Let me bust through this. Tyrone, my buddy in work, is in tears. Christine, they must. Okay, we did get that. Cody, catching snakes and rebuilding carburetors, America's pastime. Christine could do both of them. Let's see. Let's go to. I do want to say what's up to Vegas. Always great seeing Vegas. All the way from Las Vegas. Great to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well out there. Christine says yes, and yes, Ryan. My dad was born and raised in Pittsburgh. That's awesome. That is awesome. Let's go to Christopher. He says, how come you guys didn't know about the food trucks? It's been quite a few years since I've been up there, but I absolutely know about the food trucks. As a matter of fact, food trucks are becoming huge in Western Pennsylvania. Mike, they have just food truck events now. They didn't used to have that kind of stuff. So people really taking advantage of the food truck industry nowadays. Let's go here to Jamal. Jamal says, in Bernard we trust. That's right, baby. I'm in. Christine says dad was also retired Navy. Okay. There was something that was going to make me something that suggested a long conversation today. It made me think that you might have been dad in this case was military. I don't remember what it was, but at one point I did think that. I thought, I bet you her dad was military. I don't know why. Again, I can't think of what it was off the top of my head, but there was something. He would have loved that last pick. Tyrone says, and Bernard, we trust Somber said I had to go back and listen to the crash out. I listened to it about 19 times. Steel Loyal sent it over to me yesterday, and I laughed about it, about the first 10 for sure. Let's go to Tyrone. Jamal, you just missed. They played my crash. Jamal, let me know if you're in the house. I will play it again if you are sticking around for a minute. Zach says, only good snake is a dead snake. Jamal says, what? I missed that shit. Laughed my ass off. Let's scoot up here. Black Magic. I got to go back and rewatch it. Cody says he had to take down his Drew Aller screensaver.
Hey. The Drew Aller screensaver stays up.
Vegas said the pressure was getting on you, man. The pressure
it was
getting
too,
to you.
man. Because I know you. I know you were going to make your snide comments towards me.
Yes, I was. Let's go right here to I'm going to grab a couple more. Let's see. Cody says, trying not to stare too long, going to end up with Carson Beck eyes. Vegas says this, we could hear your fat fingering the keyboard. Vegas says this, Vanilla Thunder, a.k.a. Sausage Fingers.
They were fucking clomping, man.
Just pecking away over there. Do you hear that?
Too.
Christine says this, you gotta do what you gotta do. I can do plumbing, electric, drywall too. Gotta do. Hey, you're right. Sometime ain't nobody gonna do it for you. I couldn't agree more. The Mexicans are moving north. Cody says the Mexicans are moving north. Come on up, man.
I got room, boys. I got room in the studio for all the Mexicans because I want me some fresh made guacamole.
Are you suggesting that you could shove a whole bunch of Mexicans in a small space? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not insinuating at all. I'm not saying. We always bring everyone into my room, so why not them?
We had a nice Mexican family live right next door to where we're at now.
Did. Well, fuck yeah, man. They always had some bomb food there.
I do like them folks. They moved up the street, but they were great neighbors. Let's go to Lindsay. Lindsay says, I'm not getting my hands dirty. I'll clean. Hey, it's all good, man. Ty says 208 in the show. Jamal says still crazy. Fool Vegas who hangs out for looking for jobs in front of Home Depot in Pittsburgh. Let's go here to Tyrone. I'm cracking, bro. That was too funny. Christine, send them that way. I can't do deck myself. I do want to say what's up to Pezzo Vendante. I'm just going to go with that right now. He says this Roman Wilson history with the addition of Wet Jen and Heinrich. You know what? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I apologize for mispronouncing your name, but I just want to say I don't know because again, I don't know. Mike,
I don't.
Pezzovano Vante.
I know he may. He might have an upper hand. He might have an upper hand. You know, he's been in the league a while, but my God, he might be on his last leg, and those guys are going to push him for a spot. But you know, maybe that's what he needs. He needs that competition to get the best out of him. Hopefully, he can make a team because you saw what happened last year. Get the ball in his hands, he can make things happen. And him now being the fourth option, that'd be a good spot for him, and have those guys doing what they do. It's going to be tough to keep all three of those guys.
All right, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
Head on over to the2dumyinzers.com. You know, we got some post-draft analysis by yours truly over there. We've got some NFL news stuff up there, Steeler news stuff, top of the day type of stuff, most important stuff going on. All of our social media links to the merch store. So check it out at the2dumyinzers.com.
Pizzanavante. I'm gonna go with that. That's how you pronounce the name. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. Jamal says this. He says, that's funny, bro. Still dumb as fuck for that. Let's go to Cody. He says, I'm going to tell all the tortas to go to Mike's house. Here we go, guys.
You're threatening me with a good time?
No, Mike, now you're biting into Tyrone's time. Hold on. We have to play this. Ready? Here we go, guys. Brace yourself.
I am so mad right now. I can't even see straight. I just want to say, fuck you, dumbass bitch. You stupid bald-headed fuck. You would fucking smoke the fucking ground like I'll be your bitch ass wood. Fuck the Steelers. Fuck Omar Khan. Fuck Rito. Fuck Mike McCarthy. Fuck all really.
There it is, guys. There is the classic crash out for Ty from this year's draft. There it is. You heard it here first. Let me grab a couple more messages, and we are going to get into this trivia of the day. Ty, thanks. Guys, great show, you bastards. Still laughing, of course, my friend. Let me grab two more. I just seen a couple more, and then we're going to get into this question of the day. Tyrone, now you guys, now YouTube knows I like how I like to say I love my Steelers. Let me jump up here just a moment. The fuck was that? Vegas said, Cody, like Mexican's nickname will be Tortomezo. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to continue to move forward. Christopher says, you like guacamole with pico de gallo? I eat that all the time with tortilla chips. I have a fresh pico de gallo in my fridge right now.
Oh.
Guacamole. That's right up your alley, Mike. I do know that.
It is.
Steel Loyal says, the Tyrone thrash out. Vegas says, okay, I thought he was trying to rap. And the music was added later by Steel Loyal on top of the crash out. Guys, let's get into this trivia question of the day. Do go check out the website at www.the2dumyinzers.com. Question of the day. Put on your thinking caps, everybody at home. Mike, here we go. Time to get into this question of the day. This is a Steeler draft kind of question that has to do with the show. So take a minute, guys, to think about it. Once we do get the question up, guys, here we go. Put your thinking hats on. Question of the day. How many past guests on the Two Dum Yinzers have been drafted by the Steelers? How many past guests on the Two Dum Yinzers show have been drafted by the Steelers? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30, 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Think that over, Mike. Christine says, love me some homemade pico. Also, Jamal says, acting all optimistic in chat, shaking my head. Glad I got to see the real TK laugh my ass off. Fuck this draft. I'm still pissed. LOL. Cody says, the Torta Pounder. Tyrone, that was me with the max pick at first. I'm happy with the draft. Vegas says 2 for sure. Lindsay says 6. Tortilla says 7. Mike, the question of the day, how many guests on our show was actually drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers? Christine says 1. Zach Stone says 2. Vegas says 2 for sure. Ty says 2. Mike, what is the thought process that you are going through to try to figure out how many Steeler draft picks were actually on the show before?
Well, we got one of them sitting back there, number 38.
Okay.
He was on the show.
The
very first one. Chad Brown, who's becoming a yearly regular. Levon Kirkland. Super Bowl winner, Chucky Jacoby.
Okay.
Draft picks, yep, just those 4 were drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now, is that your final answer?
Final answer, yes.
So you're saying, Mike, that the 4 guests on our show in the past that were actually draft picks of the Steelers were Tim Worley, were Levon Kirkland, Chad Brown, and Chucky Jacoby, which would make it 4. And that's your final answer.
Final answer.
I don't want to get any mistakes. So let me go ahead and lock you in.
I'm going to be pissed if I get this wrong.
The first dude, actually, Vegas is the highest drafted Steeler since Terry Bradshaw. Tim Worley in 1989 was number 7 overall, which is the highest Steeler drafted in the Super Bowl era. His name wasn't Terry Bradshaw. So he says Tim Worley, Chad Brown, Levon Kirkland, and Chucky Jacoby. A couple other people say John. Dude says this. He says 3. Christopher says 3 as well. Was that many stripper drafted by us? She was not. Maybe might have to adjust your prediction. Let's get into it, guys. This is the answer for the question of the day. How many past guests on the Two Dum Yinzers have been drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers? Mike says 4. A lot of different answers on the board. Let's see if Mike or anybody got it right, guys. The answer, we do need JPJ, maybe one day, Ty, on the show. The answer to the question of how many past guests on the Two Dum Yinzers show has been drafted by the Steelers. Mike says 4. The answer, however, is 4. The four that got drafted were, in fact, Tim Worley at number 7, 1989. Levon Kirkland, number 2. He was the second draft pick in Bill Cowher's first draft, number 2 overall. And also Chad Brown. Everybody knows Chad. And Mike said he's been making his way on every year,
Right.
right around the new year. Just plays out that way somehow. And finally, Chuck Jacoby out of Purdue. Purdue, he was on Super Bowl 40. Chuck Jacoby, the backup center. We're all right here on the show. Mike, that is correct. 4 is the correct answer. Vegas says this. He said the co-host better get it right. Come on.
But, Ryan always says, I have a drinking problem. So I may have been drunk the entire time and just don't know it.
Ryan says. You guys literally seen the bottles, right? I just want to make that clear. Ryan says. Let's go here. But there were also others. Derek Moy, Corey Ivy. So those were the drafted ones. Let's go right here, Mike. NB got that. All right. So what do we got to do? Where are we at? What's going on? What planet am I on?
You're asking the wrong guy, brother. You're asking the drunkard.
Well, now you got me on this whole timeline thing. I know that we have to watch because you got. I know.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My damn kid ruins everything. He ruined my life. He's going to ruin everyone else's life. I'm joking.
I have to think. I hate when I have to think. A couple things, guys, before we do start to wrap things up. Don't forget, as you're going through this offseason like we are, you might need to take the edge off every now and then. If you do, stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. That's right. It's now in Giant Eagle in 6-packs and 12-packs. So you can get it also wherever cases are sold. Also, guys, Mike, I do want to say that they do treat us very well. The people at Duquesne Pilsner are always helping us out in their promotions, and we couldn't thank them anymore. So do show them a little love. If you maybe don't drink, swing by on their websites, on their social media. Do hit the like, follow, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure they'll certainly appreciate it all. We always have Duquesne Pilsner on tap here in the studio for any occasion, Mike. Made right here in Pittsburgh, and says right on the can. It says it. You can't even deny it. It says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
What else we got going on? What else do we have going on, Mike? I do want to say this. Also, do check us out while you are checking them out on the internet. You can also check us out as well, guys. We are all over the place. You can go to Facebook, X, and formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok, guys. Go check us out and keep up with what's going on with the Two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. Beyond that, if you haven't yet, do hit the like button down below, guys. Hit the like, the sub, the share, even leave a comment. It all helps out in the algorithm-y type things. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Mike, your take on today's show overall?
This show was fun as fuck. You guys were fun on the board. I do like the Steelers more or less telling Aaron Rodgers, fuck you. We're tired of your little song and dance. So now you're either going to be with us or you're not, because we control your future. I like that. It's kind of letting the quarterbacks know that, hey, we trust you guys too. To if he doesn't show up, you're our guys. You three figure it out.
All right, lots coming up tomorrow. We're going to get into, again, we're going to cover more, a little extensively, get into each draft pick. We're going to grade each draft pick tomorrow for the Steelers. Also get into the undrafted free agents. Maybe give it another day. Maybe see if we could bring another guy in or so. But we will take a look at all that tomorrow. And get into a whole lot more, Mike. Not much going on. The Penguins are off tonight. They'll be back at it tomorrow in their series. But the Buccos do play the second game of that series against the Cardinals. That's a 6:40 game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow to get into all that and so much more. But before we do go, I want to say thank you so much, guys. Thank you for everything. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do without you guys. Thank you so much. You are the lifeblood.
Yes.
I want to say thank you to everybody on our board, guys. You always keep things interesting here on the show. We value you but more than you even know, believe me.
Yes.
Thank you so much as well. Everybody that's at home, maybe listening, watching on the TV, listening at work, in the car, maybe at the gym. Thank you so much, guys. This show is about you. This show is a voice about Steeler Nation, and that's what it's always about. Good, the bad, the ugly. It's always about that here, guys, and you guys, again, such a big part of this show, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about, and we couldn't thank you enough, guys. So again, thank you so much, everybody, for everything that you do and all the support. It's certainly known and recognized daily. Believe me, it truly, honestly is. We think about you guys more than you probably know. Conversations just in general. Hey, Cody, just funny things. So
Yep.
again, you guys certainly do mean a lot. We do love you all. We hope that everybody comes back tomorrow. We'll be at our tomorrow will be hump day. Again, we're going to get into those draft picks in depth tomorrow. Take a little better look at all the guys that we did get today. It was kind of a fun day. We took it off a little bit, but we'll get back into those picks tomorrow. Kind of take a look at what it is that we have, Mike, because we are just about 2 weeks away from having our schedule. The schedule is going to be dropping in the NFL, and then we also have rookie camp. We have OTAs. So much things coming down the pike. So we're going to get into these picks this week, heavily tomorrow, and see how the rest of the week plays out. And again, we are expecting a special guest at some point later in the week as well. So do stick around, guys. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Michael, I do want to say this real quick. Vegas says peace and chicken grease. That's right, baby. All day. Ty says bye, guys. Ryan, Mike, love you all, man. That was epic. Guys, thank you. Lindsay, bye. Thank you as well. Everybody, thank you so much. We hope to see these guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Christmas, I see you in Latrobe. Drinks and food on me. Hey, let us get the drinks on us. Man, we'll do the food. We'll do your food trucks. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Thank you so much, everybody. For Mike, one more time, around the horn. Anything? Speak now for hold your peace. All right, for Derpy, for Finch, for Chop, for RB, Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.